Okay, welcome everyone. We're going to be playing Carrier Command 2. This is just going to be a single player version of it. We were supposed to be playing it with the Meta Abuse podcast, battle mode, lucid, etc. Today at some point, but nothing was actually planned. So I thought I'll play it single player and just sort of go and show you sort of how the game can be played quite effectively as a single player game. It's beautifully done for co-op, like with multiple people actually sort of manning parts of the ship. That sort of worked very, very, very well. But you can play it single player, so I thought I'd just sort of go through the process. You just have to play it slowly. That's all. So I'm just going to press any old key. So this is Carrier Command 2. It came out 3 or 4 years ago, I guess. Now they keep on updating it with different things. There's one thing I really, really, really wish that the devs would build in this thing, and that is to make it so that you can play single player with only your carrier and no other carrier. I prefer to play against the island, so I'm going to set that up and show you how to do that one. But I would love to be able to just go into the game and click on this and then just go straight into a single player game. And actually, if I just show you what I mean through here, if I go into the into custom through this other side, AI teams, I can't make that 0. So so you always start off, if you're playing single player, you are stuck with an AI in there. Hi Vegan, how you going? So that is, and that for me, I just don't know why they haven't made it so that you can actually just play with like that can't be 0. And so I'm not sure what the go is there. Anyway, let's just go back out. Press escape, go to multiplayer. We're going to go and host. This is how you set up one through this other side. Max players, I'll just make that one, I can make it 1 player, like so it's just myself. I'll just give it, say, 4 or something at this point in time. Yeah, I'll just put any old thing in this case. I'll just leave it like that for now. But anyway, that's just going to go and go to new game. And so when I go to custom here, I do have the option to make it 0. So I can actually do it this way, by playing it as a multiplayer game for single player. I don't know why they won't do that for single player. It's just weird. So that's sort of it. I find that frustrating actually, because it seems to be such a simple thing to fix. So devs, if you are watching this, please make single player so we can play it with 0 AI, because the islands I find are good fun. The carrier not so much. I don't particularly like going up against the carrier, so the enemy carrier, because you tend to be then focusing on that, whereas I tend to prefer to just be focusing on the actual islands itself. Also, the AI tends to be able to sort of rattle through the islands fairly quickly, whereas the players, like particularly single player, you tend not to be able to do that one so much. So what we end up having through here is we've got the number of islands. I'll keep that at maximum. That is maximum is 64. The human teams, only 1 human team, of course. AI teams, and through here 0 of them. So we've now got this is allows us to then have basically just ourselves in the game itself. Starting islands will be 1, so we end up with we've got 1 island at the very, very start of the game. I'll go through how the game is played a little bit as well, so I'll spend a bit of time talking about that one. Carriers per human team, I'll just go with 1 of them. So if we lose the carrier, we lose the game. Base difficulty, I'm just going to keep it on low, because the game is actually quite challenging, particularly as a single player game, so you can actually sort of ramp it right up. The different islands will also have a rating, and that's something we're going to have to contend with. So for example, the islands we're going to be wanting to go after initially will just be a one shield island. The 2 shield islands will then have more defences. They'll likely have potentially some ships around them to protect them, but sometimes they'll have other aircraft. 3, we start to see some very, very powerful ships in around them, and 4 is pretty much impossible to really sort of go through without a real lot of very, very careful planning. So anyway, we'll just go through, and we're going to, of course, play with the base difficulty on 1 through there. Loadout, I'm just going to keep that one by default. I used to actually have like a way of playing it even more difficult, where you'd have even less that you then go and sort of play through. But in this case, we're just going to play with 1 and unlock blueprints in through here as well. This is you can actually go through and actually have none or all, so you can actually then go through and actually start to build whatever you want. But in this case, I'm just going to leave it where that is. You've got minimal or complete, but you can actually, there is a way of tweaking this as well, which I won't go through, but I'll just keep these on default. We'll just get started. So the way it works is we're essentially in space, and I don't know if there'll be like there probably won't be the intro scene where we sort of drop in from outer space onto the carrier deck, and then we have to sort of start the carrier up. I think we start on the bridge when we play a multiplayer game like this. So it's now building where all the islands are. The islands, it's critically important to get what we want from the actual islands. Now, because I'm playing with no enemy AI carrier, I can actually now just spend my time to go through each island the way I want to go through it. So we'll just sort of go through this bit by bit. I'm not sure if we're logged in. I think we're logged into YouTube. I'm assuming that's all going to be okay. Just waiting for the server. Won't take too long, hopefully. There we are. Yes, we start on the bridge. Now, I'll just walk around the bridge and actually show you what's going on. I've got a couple of mods installed, by the way. One mod that gives me a control here where I can actually sort of pretty much do everything I need to do from the captain's seat in through this other side. So there's a mod that actually gives me vehicle control. It also gives me the actual vehicle loadouts. Normally I'd have to be doing those things back over through here, getting the loadouts ready, and then vehicle control. I'll probably still move across to handle these in different areas, but that's essentially sort of where we end up. Hi Viren Games, how are you going? So I'm glad to see you playing this game. Looking forward to the multiplayer that you and Meta Abuse guys played. Yeah, I know we haven't uploaded it yet. We want to do one more session, and this weekend we thought, yeah, let's try to do it this weekend, but then it's just got away from us again. So we just like the idea is to keep it all going. I'll just go and click on the master switch. That's then going to turn on all the power in through here. I'll just do a very quick tour of the actual of the game. Most of the time when you're playing this in multiplayer, you're playing it as a co-op game, and so you've got different people at different stations. Each seat can be its own sort of station where people can actually then go and do things. This is called the pilot seat, but essentially this is where your main guns are. So whatever you do, don't let battle mode near this particular station if you ever play with battle mode. I'm only joking. You got your helm in through here, so this is actually where where the steering actually occurs and the navigation for the actual for the craft itself. We'll go through each of these stations. This is a power and damage control. We've got different sorts of transmissions going in through this other side as well, and then we've got the various inventory and logistics, loadouts, etc. So in through that other side, and then the captain's the holo map where the captain sort of controls what we see. I'll go through that in just a minute. If we go back on the outside, if I just go and open the door and come back out, we start off in a dry dock, and so that is the dry dock over there. This is our starting island. If I right click, that there is a barge just at the very back and behind the island, and that's going to be transporting out different things from our home island out to us. Now each of the actual islands that we may or may not be able to see islands in the distance there, but the islands that may or may not be out that way will essentially also have other bonuses and benefits, but I can't see any out that way at this point in time. So this is the top layer of the bridge itself. I can just open the doors, left click, just close that one. Nothing you need to really worry. There's different doors for different sorts of things and through this other side. Often these don't actually have any real bearing on anything. This is just a bit of dressing. What we want to do through here really is to go down further. We can actually got corridor lights. You can turn them on or off. This then takes us through into you will go through this area a little bit. We've got a lift down through here, which will go through the various layers of the carrier itself, and then this one goes straight back out into the bridge again. So sometimes you can actually sort of go through and just go straight down. It's either take the lift or you go down through here. Each actual area, you notice that there's nothing really much in through here. Another door this way, but again, nothing really sort of that we need to worry about in through that other side. We need to go deeper down. This is now starting to get down onto the carrier deck, which we can sort of see down in the next layer. So we'll just go down the next one as well. And so this then takes us out onto the actual deck itself. So we can sort of see that, and we're on this sort of funny angle because we are actually, because we are in the dry dock. So we'll get off the dry dock fairly soon. These are various arms and equipment that we can then sort of make use of. So we have different equipment that we can sort of use on the carrier itself. There's another group on the other side there. There's missiles over this area, more anti-air missiles. There's a main cannon up somewhere. I forget where that actually is. I don't know where the cannon actually is. So that might be it there. I think there's a cannon there. There's all sorts of different armament on the carrier itself, but we'll go through how to use all of those different things, what they all do. Let's go down deeper, because that is the this is actually where everything launches, or not everything. It's where all the aircraft launch from there. Then we've actually got like another area I can go back down, but this actually then shows me like a bit of an area above to and then have a look at where the aircraft actually are for sending off. So we've got like aircraft bays. We don't have them all full at the start. We've only got like a few that are actually in here at this point in time. So you can see there's some at the back there. A couple of drones, a couple of helicopters. There's another drone way at the back over that other side as well. So we've got 2 drones, 2 helicopters. Now, you will be wanting to, if you're playing at single player, you will be wanting to experiment a little bit and getting used to flight, because flight is actually can be quite difficult with things like the helicopters. But if you get good at it, and I'm not good at it at all, if you get good at it, you can actually do a lot of the damage just by flying the helicopters around. Anyway, we'll have a bit of a play with those, but I sort of don't really want to be wrecking equipment. We have to be very, very careful that we don't destroy equipment. We go down to that particular layer. So this is actually, oops, hang on, what's going on there? Can't get down that way. All right, that's been blocked. Just come back out into this particular layer. Now this is a mod. This mod here is if you've got even more players, they can actually come down into here and actually control and do vehicle loadouts from this particular these stations in through here. It allows you to have pilots that are sort of then designated underneath where you are. This is essentially similar to the holodeck up above. We have air traffic. So this is actually just a mod that actually gives us a whole other different way of controlling things all in one go. Hi, Tommy Casper, saying good evening, Daz. I've been playing a lot of Shadow Empire. Been a good time. Excited to see the stream tonight. Thank you. Yeah, this is a great game. This is good fun. There's another Microprose game. God, they've got some good games, and they did actually have the old original one back from the 80s or 90s. Anyway, whatever it is. This one here. This is our helicopters. Back through this other side. If we ever look down under through here, we've then got a few different other land vehicles down below. Let's go down and have a look at those. We don't actually have to come down here to do anything. Like the robots essentially will do what we have to do. So we'll just come back through and go down to the bottom layer. Oops, just go straight down and through we go again. Come back out. So we can now sort of see again the actual loadout down this way. So this is a tour of the carrier before we even get started. Now, because we're not playing with an AI carrier, there's no rush for us to do anything. We can sort of just do everything at our own leisure. So what we have through here is we've got different vehicles, or different loadouts on the vehicles. You can see this one's got a cannon on top, and then this one's also got the same sort of cannon. Back over here we have another one with a cannon on top through here, and then we finally have a different one here. It's the same vehicle body, as you can sort of see down through this other side, essentially the same body, but this one has got like, this is how we actually take the actual islands with these things in through here. So that's actually what we have in this instance. So I'll go through now, we'll go back up the top. There's no easy way to go there. You've actually got to, I can press shift to run, so I can sort of run along and sort of move my way up. And moving our way through. There's different loadouts in through there as well, so different equipment stored. And we'll take the lift up this time. So if we go into here, call the lift will then come from up the top. So it's coming from the bridge down eventually. Here it comes. So we'll jump in and we'll go up to level 7, deck 7. Now you do actually have a character. You can see the other characters when you're actually playing. They'll sort of just be around the place. And then we'll go through and get started. So we've got a bit of planning to do, but the first thing we need to do is actually launch the carrier. So we'll just go through this door here. Just close that door behind me. So we did turn the master switch on, which actually does put power everywhere. We can just turn other things on and off. What we'll do is we'll go and first of all load. Now there is one other thing. This is the safety hatch, and if you go into here, you've got a self-destruct system. You can sort of then go and start this particular process of blowing up the ship if you need to. So you can actually sort of do like you can destroy the ship. The helm, we need to sort of turn power on, so we've got engine start. In fact, if I go into, this is the main breaker, I'm just going to turn everything on, so that's going to then put power through a lot of the systems. So as we sort of get started, we'll start to see power come up in different areas of the ship. We can turn things off as well, like we don't need, for example, to be running repairs. I tend to turn off things, for example, like the radar. We're probably going to need weapons. We don't really need weapons initially, so I can turn that one off as well, just to save some power. So we're turning off damage control and weapons. The lift or crane, I'll keep these actually active because we will be needing to have those. The first thing we need to do is to deploy the carrier. So we're just going to go across into this one through here, click on it, and then we can go down and just go deploy carrier. And if I then have a look, we'll sort of come off the, if I just press escape, we'll sort of splash away from the dry dock. So we're now sort of in the ocean, we're just floating around in the ocean. Not really nothing much is really happening. Depending on where we are, there'll be different currents as well. So we'll actually talk about what's actually happening. In this case, there won't be any currents where we are. And if we get close enough to other islands, there won't be currents either. Whoa, a bit of lightning. That's very cool. Okay, so we'll just go and close that door. And so here we are. Now we've got the holodeck, the holo map in through this other side. I'm just going to go and click on the captain's chair. So I'm now sitting in the captain's chair. I've got these, again, these are from mods for the vehicle loadouts, etc. I'm going to go and have a look at the holo map. If I click on the holo map, I can zoom out and start to sort of see where we are. So we're at an island called Bardland. And so there we are there. This is the barge that we saw, ID3. There is lightning still outside. Bardland is actually a warehouse. This is what that's sort of showing. And there's our carrier there. So the carrier Epsilon is the carrier that we have. As we zoom out, we're then going to see one shield islands back in through this other side, two shield islands in through here, another one shield up the other side, three shield there. Now the trouble we're going to need is we need to get fuel. And this is the only one we have is actually a 3 shield island for fuel. That's a problem. Another 3 shield island for fuel over there. That is a big issue. It's almost worth, if you're playing single player, it's actually probably better to just start again, to be honest. So I'm going to start again and see if we can get something a little bit easier for getting fuel. Fuel is one thing we have to be able to get. So let's go and destroy this particular one. We'll just go to the self-destruct system. What do we have to do there? Lock. Not sure how we actually do with that one there. Oh yeah, we're just going to turn all these on. And do we turn that on as well? Activate. Armed. There we are. And activate. No, that still didn't do it. The abort. Not sure what that's doing. I mean, you can see I don't ever really do this. Oh, there we go, activate, and now we do the self-destruct. So it's going to come in 10 seconds. We're going to actually have a self-destruct. I'll just move across, and bang, it's gone. So the carrier, it just got destroyed. Now that's because the islands just weren't really viable. So we'll start again. So are there still walruses and mantas? Yes, there are. They're the different vehicles that we have, or that we will be able to get access to. Let's just go back in again. So fuel is important. I really want to try to get at least a 1 or 2 shield island for fuel. I don't want a three shield because it's going to be too much. Now, come on, why won't you let me play this? Just wants to go through all the whole cutscene. I should have just escaped. This is now the escape through the shuttle. We're playing in space even though we're playing with carriers. playing on a water world. Come on, game. Can't, is it Alt Q or Control Q maybe? Just start that again. Alright, so we're just going to go back into game, return to bridge. What's that doing there? Quit. Okay, so we'll quit this one out and we'll just start again. So we'll just go and build another one of the games. So host. Yeah, I'll just keep that one through there. So normal in through there. Custom. It's remembered that I've got 0 teams. Everything else is okay. We'll just go and get started again. So we'll just quickly now get into it now that we've sort of done the tour. It creates the world. We need to see if the world is viable. Another easy way of sort of seeing what's going on is not to use the central command. There is actually another place we can actually have a look at the islands and get even more information. I'm getting flashes. I wonder why I'm getting flashes. I'm not getting flashes on my actual screen, but I'm getting it in the recording for whatever reason. That seems to be okay now. I'm not sure why that was the case. Anyway, just go and master switch on. Turn on the breaker, turn off repairs and weapons for now. Deploy the carrier while we're here. Press escape, come back out again. We can have a look at this logistics to have a bit of a look at the actual islands themselves and to what we end up getting. Actually, no, it won't tell me exactly what I'm going to be getting. Again, I don't really have. I've got munitions. It'll tell me the specifics of what we actually get from each location. But fuel is, again, too far away. I should have done one. Maybe that one there may be viable. Let's just see how much that is. So let's just go to the holo map, zoom out, and have a quick look. 1, 2, 2, 2. Okay, we could actually go for that one there, which is a 2 shield island. The other... Ideally, it would have been a one shield, but 2 shield we can sort of cope with. We've only got one shield island here. All the rest of them are 2 shield. That's the sort of where, if there was an enemy carrier, that's where they would be sort of starting back on the other side there. All right, well, let's go and there's another group over there with this 1 shield, but we have to sort of then make our way across. This is actually, we've got 1 shields down this way as well, a few 1 shields. A few 2 shields back through this other side. There's a that one there is a look. We got this first one is a 1 shield in that instance. I think, which way should I go? Was there any other fuel? There's a 3 shield fuel up there. 2 shield fuel there, which is actually close to a whole lot of these. Yeah, I need to just secure the fuel before we sort of really go too much further. That really has to be the one that we go for, I think. But we'll start with Duessa, just so we can sort of ease ourselves into it. So we'll just start that way. So we'll just go back across and press escape just to leave the actual stations themselves. And so we'll get ready for taking one of the 1 shield islands. And so the first thing we want to do here, and I'll try not to use these. I'll try to go to the actual stations if you're not using the mods. So there's different things we can then sort of bring onto the barge if we wanted to. But if we go into, this is our vehicle loadouts that we actually have. And so we want to make sure that we have the right vehicle loadouts for each of the actual craft themselves. So Orangutans are saying Lingard 2 is fuel to the east. Oh, is it? Lingard 2. Sorry, it's 2 fuel. Lingard. Ah, yeah, there's 2 there as well. That one I can sort of avoid all the others, though, to get to that one. Whereas this one I'd have to go through the middle of all of these. And then it sort of gets me down to 1s and then 2s again. And then another 2 there. Maybe that would be the ideal. I'm actually tempted to start again. I think I will start again. And we'll try one last time. No matter what we get this next time, we'll just go with it. I'm just going to press escape. I'm going to go to game. We're just going to go into quit. I won't go through the whole rigmarole anymore. we'll just get started one more time and just try to get that sort of start, which is going to make it so we can try to get fuel more easily enough. Whoops, don't we need to do that one? New game, custom, everything's there is okay. We'll just get started and try this one again. I'll just try it again. I'll just turn my air conditioner on. I'll be right back. I don't know why it's like OBS is flashing at me. I don't know why it's doing that. It's not doing it from the screen. I hope it's not flashing for you guys, but anyway, that's all okay. All right, over we go. Master switch, breaker, navigation, deploy, escape. Have a quick look at the holomap. Go to 1 star, 1 star, 2 stars there, 1 star over there, 2 stars. This will have to do. We'll play this one here. We've got a 3-star in the middle. This is going to be difficult, so we're going to have to try to avoid that one. Do we have any more that we could make use of that's sort of close-ish to where we start? Not overly, actually. This is interesting. There's a 2 there. There's a 3 over that side. So tax haven is actually 3-star, which is going to make life difficult. There's a 4-star there, so that's way too difficult for us to try to navigate in through there. So we're going to have to try to take this one, potentially this one as well, just because that's the only real fuel we have. Actually, guys, I'm still going to do one more start because this is going to be still too difficult for us. One more restart. This will definitely be whatever we get this time is what we're going to be going for. Severia is saying, but only when loading. In game it looks good. Actually, what was that? Oh, the flashing? Okay, so in the game, yeah, okay. It's funny because I don't get the flashing even when it's loading in. So we'll just go back into game, multiplayer, host, new game, custom, 0 AI team, start. Now it's not doing it. Good. I don't know it just did it then. Here we go. So, yeah, so it's only on the loading screen. Oh, yeah, I don't know what that flashing actually is. It's not doing it on my actual screen, so it's sort of, I'm doing a screen grab for this one. I could actually try to maybe sort of, if it starts to happen a lot, I'll try to record a different way. Master switch right. Main power on. Navigation, deploy carrier, escape, off we go. So we're now sort of going down the ramp. Holomap, zoom out, please give me something easy. That's actually, this is now impossible, guys. Come on, game. Come on, game. I will have to start again. Now we've got three shields, which is too much. Way too much, so I'm going to have to, sorry guys, I do have to do this again, yet again. Quit. I should have prepared one earlier. It's so important that we can get the fuel. If we don't get the fuel, we won't be able to sort of finish the game. So very things flashing is subliminal messaging to sub onto the channel. There we go. Yes, instead of just one more turn, it's just one more start. Yeah, I know it's like that, isn't it? Yeah, I should have got myself a map that was going to work, and then sort of played it that way, but I didn't. All right, here we go. Master switch. Breaker, deploy, holomap. Please be nice to us this time. Two, that'll do. That'll do us. These are all then too far away. Okay, we've got a 2-star there for fuel. That'll have to do us. Okay, so we've got a 1-star there, which we'll start in that sense and just go for it. So what is going to happen through here is that we're going to take this one on first. We may not even get a chance to actually even go across to this one, but I would like to start to sort of whittle away at some of these as well. Now, each island will supply you with certain things, so we can sort of zoom in on the island to sort of see what's what. Get a bit of a feel for the different types of buildings on the islands as well. These are all randomly generated, these islands. I think they are. I'm pretty sure they're random. They're certainly randomly generated in their positioning. And so there will be protection on the island, and we need to finish them off. We need to actually kill them off with our forces. And so because we've got limited ammunition's another thing that we are going to be needing to get. We have to sort of take things a little bit more sort of slowly with that. So I'm just going to go and have a bit of a look. One thing I like to do with this is if I just come back out again, I've got this is cartographic view. This one here is wind view, which will then give me a look of at the actual wind on this particular thing. You can see that there's some mapping there with a little bit of wind. There's nothing sort of too much going on around where we are at this point in time. I'll just sort of leave it in around here somewhere. So you can see that strong wind through here, for example, which is sort of blowing, that would blow our carrier off course a little bit. Just go and press escape, and the next one across is precipitation, which is rain. I'm not going to really worry about that one. Next one is fog, so we've got fog back over on the other side. We've got ocean currents. This can be important, and then you've also got ocean depth. Ocean depth is your most important one for when you're sort of trying to plan things. So if we go back into here again, we've got like low ocean depth in through this other side, but the currents will be strongest where the ocean depth is deepest. So you can sort of just make use of these. If we go and switch back between them, the ocean depth and the ocean currents, we can then sort of see that this one will have fairly strong ocean currents in through there. My safest spot is back over through here. So I've actually got like an area back in through here in the lee of the island where I can actually sort of place the carrier where we won't be swept away. So I've got all of these different areas in around this other side. So where I want to take the carrier is over here somewhere. So I'll sort of be wanting to move it through. Now it does give me little tool tips down through this other side where I can then just go through and put like waypoints. So I can press R and throw a waypoint so out to this other side, and then we can do a waypoint, for example, into say here. So I just press R, and that will be like a waypoint for us to navigate to, and that will then appear in the navigation window. So that's sort of what we want to do. We want to go around the island and then move into this position. We want to stay away about 4 kilometers initially, and that's now 2 kilometers. So we're wanting to probably, actually 2 kilometers should be okay, but we'll probably want to stay further away than what we're seeing through there. I'll just go and if I go and get rid of these, if I press R again, does that get rid of them? Yeah, I'll just go and press R. What I'll do is I'll move them a little bit further away, just so that they're sort of, but just so that they're still close to the actual island itself. So the first thing we have to do is then move into position. While we're going to be moving, and this is where, like if you're playing multiplayer, you will then go off and do the like different people sort of preparing the loadouts and all these other different things. If we go and have a look at the vehicle loadout, these are both vehicle loadouts. And if we have a look at it, we had a look before at what was down below. So S4, if we have a look at the S4 and through this other side, this one's got a cannon. So it's actually using the cannon. That's got a seal with the cannon on board. S3 is also a cannon. S1 will be the one with the, this one here has got like a loadout to capture the island. Now, I may want to change that to another cannon if I've got another cannon. You can see I've got different things down through here that I can sort of place on them. I'll just go back into S1 again and just have a bit of a look and see if there's anything that we can then go and do. If I go and, this is the virus bots. I've still got, I've got 2 more of these. So I can put another turret on one of these, and so we can sort of go and wipe out the island if we wanted to, but the virus spots I do need. So I'm just going to go and press escape with that one. And so that one's all that we've actually got on that one. So we'll bring this one in eventually. The other 3 that we have should be okay for us to take out the 1-star islands. We don't really need to use much else. What we do need to do, though, is actually have the drones to be able to then go and see what's going on. So I'm just going to go with the drone. The drone has got, we've got the the camera in through here, like a drone camera. We've then got loadouts in through different sorts of bombs and weapons that we actually have. It doesn't really matter that much. I can just go and click on these. We've got, these are missiles. We've got heavy bombs, medium bombs, light bombs. What else? We've got the 20mm autocannons, which are fairly useful. Rocket pods. So these are the different loadouts we can put on this particular aircraft. We've got laser, missile, and through there we've got torpedoes. Different torpedoes in through that side. I think we've got fuel as well. External fuel tank. So this is probably more valuable to me at this point in time, just so I can sort of stay up in the air. So I'm going to go and throw one of those on there. I'm going to do the same thing over to this other side as well. So we'll just get like the extra fuel. Now that's all of the fuel tanks we have. They're going to start to do the loadout now. So you can sort of see that that's actually slowly filling up with fuel as they sort of get the loadout. We also then have the this one here is the 20mm autocannon. So I'm just going to keep that one where that actually is. So that's going to be fine. We'll just go and press escape and just leave that one where that is, just in case we can do some strafing. Strafing can be a little bit tricky, a little bit difficult, and it is best to sort of practice with that one. That fuel is now done. So you're better off just getting everything loaded up the way that you want it to go and be loaded up. So we'll start off with the with that loadout. So we've now done the vehicle loadout. That's actually happened now down below. I'm going to go now to the helm, and we're going to start to now steer the ship. Now we've got different things with the helm that we can then go and do. So we've got, for example, the engine start. So we'll get the engine started. So I can actually stop it when we get to where we need to be. I can then position it, and if we go back into this navigation panel, we can zoom out to where we've set the waypoints. So I'm going to go and move the ship. Actually, if I get started with the W key, I can now start to. Actually, I'll just zoom back out again. Just press escape. If we have a look at this throttle in through this other side, so we're going to now start to move. So move that one across. That's the engine started. Yeah, no, we are now moving. But we don't. What we don't want to be doing is we don't want to be going too fast. And where do we see that? There is actually a gauge because we want to conserve our energy. I'm just going to now rotate all the way around. That's that island. So we're going to be going to that island there. That will be the one. So we'll move around into this direction, and yeah. So with the throttle, God, where is it? There's different. There's brightness up. There's on or off in terms of what we can then sort of see there. There is navigation that we can then go and do here as well, with what we can then go and see. So again, we want to go with ocean depth. Yeah, these are the different other things we can then sort of go and set up on them. So that's actually going to be okay. We'll just leave that one where that is. And so we will then be moving off. We can zoom in again on what we're sort of seeing through here. I think that will be okay for us to then sort of use there. You can go and set up other things on each of these as well. This is steering lock, maintain heading. I'll just go and click that one on. Navigation lights and headlights. So I can sort of do those as well if I wanted to. There is a way though of seeing what the fuel usage is, and I forget where it actually is. So the crafty dog is saying, "Good evening, Daz. I don't have this one, but I do have Carry Command Gaia Mission, the old one. I think that's the old one, isn't it?" So so it's saying, "Is he paying attention to chat?" I do pay attention a little bit, but I'm pretty bad at it. So yeah, let's continue on in through here. So we're sort of slowly making our way across past the island, and we're maintaining the heading, and we can actually just leave that one on. So it's sort of like on an autopilot, but it's maintaining the actual heading itself. If we go back to the holo map and zoom on out, we'll sort of see the carrier now moving across, not towards there. It's actually still has to be sort of manually done. There is the fuel. Where is the fuel? It's the power. I'm going to turn off the power to repairs and weapons at this stage. I'll go through the weapons when we have something that needs the weapons. We don't want to be using these initially. We should be able to take out most things with the small craft that we're going to have. So, yeah, so we have to be a little bit careful. God, where is the fuel? It's not there. Our fuel level, engine temperature, the RPMs. Oh yeah, as long as we don't go into that red area there with the RPMs, we should be okay. So if I just go back to the helm and just look at the RPM meter there, it's a bit hard to sort of see it. There should be another way to. Oh, it's over here. Side thrusters, throttle, speed. No, that's still not it. You can see the RPMs on just on the left-hand side there. As I bring it up, I don't want to go into the red. I'm just going to keep it where that is. Okay, so we'll just sort of keep that one where that's going. I can't change the I should just get the brightness down a little bit, and we'll just check the heading. Just go back to cartographic. Just so we can see what's going on there. I think those flashes are from lightning that we've actually got outside. So when we go into this large weather, it's hard for us to launch anything, so we won't launch anything just yet. So we'll just wait until we sort of get close to the island. But again, I don't want to waste my the fuel through going crazy with this. I won't bring any other supplies in just yet. Yeah, so we do have the lightning out on the outside. Just move this one around so we end up bringing the heading around a little bit. Doesn't matter that much. And lock the heading again. Press escape. So we're just going to be moving off in that direction. And again, that's the island that we're going to just coming around the outside of. We can use this to go and actually in the viewing scope to sort of see what's available through here. Now we've got different things again: cycle weapons, stabilization. I will actually put the stabilization on, and R is manual, so I can actually now start to look around and see different things. So that's the island over there. I can start to zoom in. What we need to be doing is we need to be starting to paint or finding different units. There's a unit there, for example. So we can start to sort of see the protection on the island. There's some up there with the headlights. That's rain that's falling in the front there. More in through there. So we have to wipe all of these out. And we don't want to use the main guns here because we have very, very limited ammunition. Until we can sort of get the actual ammunition for the guns. Got one there. Can't paint these yet. We're getting more lightning sort of flashing. There's an island at the back there again as well. So a different type of island. So this is useful for just checking what's going on around you, but this is actually like a, we also can get distances. So you can see through there, to go in around that area, it's outside of the range, it's over 10 kilometres at the moment, so nothing there is actually close. As I come back down towards the ocean, we do have like 7 or 8 kilometres there. We're sort of hitting the cliffs there now of about 10 kilometres, so just the edge of the mountain, of where we actually are. And so, got interference with the storm. Just press escape again. This is your main gunnery area, but everything is at the moment is sort of set to be turned off. You will at some point, if you're going up against higher level islands, you can see that there's other things now. There's different sorts of lights on that island that's going to be more powerful. There'll be different ships and so on and so forth. If we need to go up against those, we need to then start to turn on some of the automated, like the Sea Whiz and stuff like this, to actually have the so that if a aircraft comes at us, it'll automatically shoot it down. But there won't be any aircraft on this particular island that we're looking at right now. So the carrier is now just making its way slowly across. Just have to now wait for it. Just takes a while. So yeah, we'll just get this one through. Other things we can do. I don't really want to be launching yet, but once we do, we'll start to paint what we've actually got that we can then start to shoot. But I'll just wait. And again, we can push it a little bit further forward. Again, it's that one there that we need to just maintain just on the outside of the red. You don't want to go into the red there. So I'm just pressing the W and S keys just to sort of maintain that one. That's about that's fuel efficient. Still getting speed, and we're now starting to get close to this island. Now we're starting to see things a little way off. We are, again, if we have a bit of a look at this one through here, that's 4 kilometres. That range through there. So we're going to come past the island fairly close, and then we'll sort of set ourselves up on the other side. You can see there the speed is now increased at just that little bit. Ocean current there at about 3. So it's going to be pushing us along in this direction. I don't mind if I want to be about 4 kilometres away from where we actually are. And I can control, like the vehicle control is over through here, but I'll try to control it from here rather than from the captain's chair. Again, this is a mod that I'm using to be able to do that from the captain's chair if I wanted to. So again, it's not this island that we're not worrying about this one, but there are a lot of lights that we can sort of see down the bottom there. Oh, actually, it is that island, isn't it? There's another island. Yeah, that's the other island with all the lights. Now that's a much more difficult island than the one. Now we've got water in the way. So what we need to do here is we need to be very, very cautious with the way that we approach this. So I'm going to need to paint everything. So you can see everything is actually offline at this stage because we've got everything turned off, including the power back over there. So moving around into here. So we're going to go in with our vehicles in this instance and just get what we need. I'm going to steer this one a bit more manually. Change the heading. Let's bring that one up a little bit. Escape. Actually, I might change this one to show the ocean depth because we don't want to run aground. So we're now sort of getting into the quieter area of the actual island itself. What we can do now is we can possibly sort of start to paint pictures of what we can then sort of see on the surface itself, like on the actual island, because we're now fairly close to it, and we're now getting into sort of more shallow water back over this other side. That is ocean current, is it? No, it's wind. Go with ocean current there, so we can sort of see what's happening with it. But we should be okay. If anything, it's going to blow us away from the island. We'll just get into that where there's a little bit of a sheltered area in behind the island there. This is now coming back up. Just turn off this switch. Move it in. So yeah, there is no at this stage with a one shield island. We're not going to come across anything that's going to be sort of too bad. Alright, got the next one now. Move the ship around. So what you can do before you even sort of get there, you can start to paint what's around the island, and I'll just move into position, and then we'll sort of launch some aircraft just so we can sort of see all the different steps. Again, there's no rush with what we're doing because we don't have the enemy carrier. And so we're almost in a position here. I'll just wait until we actually get to this next position. And so what I want to do here is I want to take out the all the small craft that we end up sort of seeing, but we need to paint them. We need to be able to see them, and so we know where they actually are, where they're coming. So I'm just manually doing this one. And that'll do us, I think. I'll just wait till we actually get that one triggered. Should be about now. And so we're in a safe zone. We're going to be pushed away from the island. There we go. Let's just bring our speed right down there. Just press escape, and we'll turn the engine stop. So the engine has now been stopped. So we're now just floating. At this point, we can start to do different things. Now, the first thing we want to do is to start to find all of the various craft that are actually, all of the different vehicles. We need to actually get them painted in the sense that we need to know what we're actually up against. So if we go back again, like the actual, again, the loadout that we actually have, if we go to either one of these screens, so A1 has got the fuel tanks. So we'll leave that one there. That will just allow us to stay up in the air a long time. Back over through here, we have vehicle control. This over through here is the crane status, which will then sort of show us what's happening with the crane. Up through here we have the surface hangar, and we also have the actual air hangar. So they'll switch between the two. There's the air hangar there. We'll have a look at this as I'll try to sort of show you what's going on through here as things actually develop. So if we go back and deploy, we want to deploy A1. A1 was the vehicle down the bottom there with the extra fuel. So we'll go to A1, and we're going to deploy A1. So for either there or from there, it's the same sort of deal. So that now happens. The crane status is now going to be looking for things. The hangar that in through here, this is now the different albatrosses we're now seeing through this other side. They'll start to move out. That's the surface hangar, and we'll start to see it move along the carrier deck. There it is. Albatross ID is now moving out towards the crane or the lift. And we'll see it happening over here as well. So it's now moving out towards the actual lift. And so this is all happening like underground, or under the water there. So it's now on the actual crane. We'll start to see this now lift across this other side. I'll just press escape. So we can see it. That's now, the crane is now operating. The elevator status is happening. We'll start to, I'll just press escape, and we'll see here comes the aeroplane in through this other side. It will then launch off from the carrier, and we can then go and control this. So so when it sort of, it'll eventually sort of, now we're in a nice, there's no real wind anywhere, so we can just sort of watch this as it sort of gets ready to launch off, and then we'll just control it for a little while. Sorry, you can get my attention with an DasTactic, sorry. So, which you did before, but I actually don't have my sound up. I'll put my sound right up. There we go. That's now just going to take off. It will sort of go into like a circle, but I'm just going to go across now, go to vehicle control, and I'm going to zoom in on that particular aircraft, and I'm going to, oops, hang on. I'm just going to go and start to position this. God, what have I done here? I need to select it, set it to vehicle. That's not it, is it? What have I done wrong? Camera. So that's the vehicle there. Just press escape again. If I start to drag shapes around, I can then go to this one here. I want to go to 1100 high, because that's then too high for the vehicles to shoot at me. And then what I want to do is I want to start to set a series around the island that will then stay at that height. And I then need to just do a loop like this. So I'm just clicking and dragging. I can then go to the actual albatross itself and go, and so this is the fuel that we're now starting to sort of drain away. If we go to the camera, I can now see what this one's actually now going and doing. That's actually a different area as well. I can then go across. I've got different weapons in through here. So number 2 is the gimbal camera. I can then go to so Z will then sort of cycle through various types of weapons that I can then bring to bear if I wanted to. Stabilization, I will actually turn that one on. So, Puppy Dog saying yes, I did, but you didn't answer. What was that one? Like the 3D art. Yes, really is quite nice. Yeah, sorry, that's that one. Things are saying, Daz, pay attention to chat. Sorry, I get caught up. What's asked of me? So Bobble is in saying, yeah, pays attention that way. In this games like this, with complexity and planning. One other game like this is High Fleet. Yeah, High Fleet's different again. Like this one, you really do sort of end up. So we're now moving in. We're now our range. Our height is very, very high. I'm just going to go to R, which will then allow me to then start to use the gimbal camera. And again, I've just got to find where the island actually is. Is that the carrier? That's our carrier. So we're now over the carrier. So where's the island? There's the island there. So what we need to do is we need to start to paint this one through here. Now if I just press the T, stabilization will allow me to then just sort of keep on top of these. We want to see what these actually are. This will then tell me what's going on. So as I paint it longer and longer, just keep it in the middle there, it will then tell me this is just a seal. The seal is like a smallish vehicle. It's not really going to worry us too much. Now we've got a group of 4 of them coming through here. I could use them to try to sort of go and smash everything. I need to get this one enough so I can see what type of vehicles they are. If we end up with seals and that's all we end up having, that's really not a problem. But if we end up with walruses, as an example, we're then going to have more of a problem. So I've just got to paint all of the different, everything we sort of see through here. It'll remember the painting while we're sort of up in the air like this. And the seal. So we may use the big cannons for taking out some of these. Seal there again as well, and set another seal. So I've got stabilization on. Oops, and it's a seal as well. So we've got the different seals. Usually they come in groups. That seems to be just on its own. There's always look at the buildings just to make sure there's nothing else. That's actually what we have to go and capture. Sometimes you'll see them in the water. There'll definitely be more than just what we're seeing there. There we are. And over here. Just paint it. Another seal. Should definitely be a lot more than this. There we are. Oh, there's more in the water there, or in this part of the land. Seal. That's what we have as seals as well. The seal. The seal. More in here. There'll be a fair few on this island. Stabilization makes a big help with trying to maintain what you're looking at here. Seal. There's more over here. I thought, maybe not. Let's look for lights anywhere we can. Maybe we can see them. I'm assuming there'll still be more. So we're just circling the actual island in sort of autopilot mode while we look for targets. Daylight's coming up. Fuel, we've still got heaps of fuel. Sometimes they'll be sort of in these areas of the island. I'm not seeing any other lights anywhere. Not seeing any other movement either. So this all looks fairly reasonable. What we definitely don't want to have happen is to come in and then suddenly find that we're not identifying a whole lot of different vehicles that we should have seen. Big cluster of them over there. That's about it, I think. Fuel is still pretty good, and through this other side as well. So I'm just going to keep this thing flying for a while. If it runs out of fuel, it will crash. Oh, there we go. Is that one? No, that's not it. Yeah, so that may be all we have to contend with on this island. So hopefully we can do that with just three of our vehicles. I could use a fourth one. I don't want to be losing seals, but this is actually a vehicle island. And so if I go back out and have another look, I can just leave that one sort of now circling around doing what it's doing. Just press escape and then move across. If we have a look at the island itself that we're at. And so the blueprints we get from this one is we're going to get the Manta, I think, and we're going to get some good chassis in through this one, which will actually be nice. So that will be a good addition for us. So now what we'll do is we'll go back to the other vehicles that we actually have. So if we have a look and see again, sorry, back over here again. So when we have a look at the surface vehicles that we have, like it was S1 was the one with the virus bots, and we don't want that one. That one's not a combatant. We need to sort of secure the way. So I'm going to go into S2, 3, and 4, and we're going to move them now onto the island. And so, and where are we actually in the grand scheme of things? Let's have a bit of a look and see. We have to ultimately get to there. And this is unfortunately we're back over here again, and we're going to have to go through the middle of these, which hopefully will still be okay. Let's just see how we do it. We'll go back across, and so with the deployment, these are the surface in through this other side, and these are the air. So we're going to go to surface 2, 3, and 4, and then what we'll find is that they'll actually all start to deploy. If we have a look again at this, we've got the seals. They're now moving down into the ocean, and so the seals will sort of end up launching. Once they've all finished launching, we can then start to control them as well. So we'll start to bring them across. Just wait for the last one, and it's almost there. S4. So they've now all launched, and they're now in the water. I'll just show you where they are. Might as well do the full tour. So they've actually appeared off. They've now gone out the back, and that's them there in the water. They're just floating around in the water, and so we can now sort of send them in to start to attack the island. Now they're going to be going up against very similar sorts of vehicles. Now it's going to be a little bit tricky when they've got that group of 4. I could take them out with the main cannons, but I'm going to try to do this one without doing that one. So we're going to go into vehicle control through here. I'm going to go back to my actual group. This is all of them in through this other side. We've got ID 8, 6, and 7. I'm going to drag 7 to 6 and 8 to 7. That will then keep like a linkage, and then I'm going to drag 6 across this way to start to move in towards the actual island itself. So we'll move that one across. So we've got a little way to go. Got a few kilometres to travel. That group of 4 is the problem. I'd almost be better off coming in around the other side, but I think I will come up through this area. So we'll just move this one across. We really want to get to a position where we can start to shoot on land rather than in the water. So again, if I go back to S6, these will now follow S6 wherever S6 goes. And so if I now go into the camera in through this other side, so I'm now using this one, and again I'm just looking through the camera, but I'm actually manning the gun mount. And again, if I go into manual mode like R, I can now start to paint the gun, but these are all way too far away. Like the range is well beyond what we have. We only have a range of 1 kilometre here. So I'm not going to try to shoot anything while I'm in the water. I may if they get close enough, but the others will then sort of automatically do things. Just let them sort of do what they're doing. The others are all painted, so we can see at least where everything actually is. What we might do is maybe try to take out those 4. It's a bit hard. I think I'll still wait because I've got very limited ammunition, so I'm just going to keep the... I won't start to fire the cannons, but I'll show you what you can do with this one. I'm going to turn back on the weapons. Let's go and turn on the... this is anti-air, so we can arm the anti-air, we can arm the Sea-Whiz if we're wanting to. This is Sea-Whizzing through this other side as well, just in case there's no aircraft going to be coming from here. This is actually now the actual weaponry that we have. This is the flare launcher, if we wanted to, the cruise missiles, or the main gun. If we go to the main gun, we've only got like about 20 or 40 ammunition. Let's just go across into this other side here. In fact, what we can fire from here. This is not the best way to fire. The best way to fire the main cannon is to use the drone, which is up above. We'll just go into the camera. You can sort of start to see different things. So firing from here is not going to be ideal, but I can do the same now that I've got this one with it all now ready to go. I can now go across back to my vehicle again and go and choose this one, and then wait for it until we actually get what we're looking for. So press R. Whoops. To R should be auto. I'll just keep that one on autos there. Sorry. I need to go and cycle. So that's going to be number 2, which will be the camera. And so the group of 4 that we see down through there is actually the one that we want. Now we want to go R through here. And I can now go in and choose what we've actually got. You can see that we've got carrier missile has been selected. I'm going to cycle the weapon until we get to the carrier gun, which is now there. This is now coming in. They've sort of now stopped. There's 3 of them that are stopped. If I now just go and tell them when they stop moving, I can then do an attack on them. Just have a quick look and see if there's nothing else. So when they get close to stopping, I will actually then designate the cannons, which is from over here on the carrier, to then go and take out that group of 4 there. But at the moment they're too far away from each other. Let's just wait till they sort of stop their movement. Fuel is still fine. We've still got heaps and heaps of fuel here. We should be able to do this whole operation. Now they're getting closer now to actually sort of doing what they're doing. Carrier gun is the one that we want. So I'm going to left click now. So requesting support. The gun will now fire. Not sure where the carrier is. Back over here somewhere. And hopefully that will then take them out. This is the most effective way of using the gun. Here it comes. We missed. Try that again. They must have moved off. It's not my fault. Again, we don't want to be wasting ammunition, but we'll give it a go. And they've moved too far away. Yeah, we're hardly doing any damage here. I'll leave that where it is. I won't do any more. We'll just have to take it out with the seals that we've got. So let's go and press escape there. We'll go back to the seals as they come in closer. Just go to camera mode. And again, it's more the we're now looking at the. I'll just press T for the here we go. We're getting close now to the island, and I'm going to go to R, which will give me the manual control of the actual gun, which is what I want to have. And again, these are too far away. I'm not seeing anything through here, but we are painting it because we're seeing what's above. Now we're going to have to get up onto the plane and start to sort of attack. So I think that we're where we're coming in. There's a little bit there. Just drag it up into this instance, into this other area. Yep, cartographic will be okay. Might move into the middle of the map. I'm going to have to take all of these out. They've taken a bit of damage. There goes the drone again. Now it's going to come up that area through there, I think. When we come up, we're going to need to be. I'll just check the stabilization. Yep, stabilized. So when we get the opportunity, we then start to fire. There's 5 of them up this way. Not seeing them yet. .700 meters. That's the target that we have. There's nothing else. They're all a fair distance away. So it is these that we have to go after. I'm going to move up and across, I think. Yeah, that one's the closest. Should be able to see that one fairly soon. There it is. Some damage to it. These ones are now more out in the open. So we're taking a bit of damage. We have to sort of be mindful of our hit points. Okay, one of the other guys has taken out one of them. Nearly down. We can't see what the other's happening with our other guys. I can't see that one anymore. We'll go back to this one. Okay, we've taken out another one. Some shots in on it. There we go. That one's down. Quite getting some hits. Ones are now doing it. One more. There's another one down there, 700 meters away. Way away now. But these others. So all the carriers, sorry, all the seals are now in a row. They're still 1,200 away. They're now 600 away. So we're going to have more coming across the top. Let's just go back and press escape, and we'll start to press escape again. We'll start to now move these. Our ammunition is low on this one here. I'm just going to move this one across and start to position ourselves up towards the target. So I've spent too much time with this one, with the ammo. So the ammo is, what are we down to? 34 more shots with this particular vehicle. Let's go to R. So I will have to now wait and be a bit more judicious with my shooting. I can move them individually. At least we're getting rid of a few of them now. Yeah, I don't want to waste the ammunition on what we've got. Let them actually have the shots there. Down to 26 shots. Just on the other side there. That's good. Hit points are still fine for me. Now out of ammunition on this one. Let's go back across. Grab the next one. Camera. Down. So we're taking too much damage here. There we go. Down. Just a handful of shots left. Yep, we're out of ammo here. Alright, so now we really need to get these away from here. So I'll just go and drag them back out again. Need to go and get more ammo, so we're going to now drag these back across. They're going to have to just make a bit of a run for it and get back to the carrier. So we'll move them off. This guy is still travelling around. Let's just check out his fuel. Fuel is still 75% because we've got these big drop tanks, so that's actually okay. Really, it's just now a matter of trying to get these away while they're still got health. They're all out of ammunition now. Come on, guys, move off, move off, move off. Change that one as well. So they'll move away. So we've still got a few of them that we now need to clear out. Once we get these ones fixed up and back, I don't want to lose any of these. Yeah, we'll be okay here. We've taken a bit of damage here with this seal, but we should still be okay. They're still firing at us. But we should be able to move away from the zone. We can try to use the drone, like the drone as an actual like to shoot these. Yeah, we're actually now really struggling here. I'm going to lose this one, unfortunately. Damn it. They're on a cliff. Oh, we're so close. We may be okay. No, they're still firing at us. go and try to take this one out before we lose any more. Okay, so the fire's coming in. Got him. Now, did that save everyone? It seemed to. Got one more. Yeah, we're so close. I think I'm going to take this shot. So if I fire and just keep this one painted, the gun will then train itself on this one. Okay, so that's now that's sort of done. There shouldn't be any more. God, we were lucky there. We were super lucky. Now, I'm not seeing any other lights anywhere. So I'm thinking what we can do is actually launch the other one. I should have actually put more cannons on those to be able to take this island out. So anyway, we've had to use the carrier a few times just to sort of try to protect. It's better for us to waste ammunition than it is for us to lose units. And so 6 will now just be given the order to move into the carrier. So they're just going to be moving back to the carrier. On the carrier itself, we'll now move across to the surface and we'll deploy S1 because there's nothing else now that we have to worry about on the actual island itself. So it will then be sent in, and so it will then sort of move across. When we go to the surface hangar, we should start to see the other one. Actually, the other one is actually already in the water. So if we have another look, so this is it here. This is actually the virus bot. So it's going to now move this one in, and it is going to move itself up onto the island, and then to the objective, which is this command center. So move that into there. Now there really is nothing else that we have to worry about, so I'm just going to go back to this one here now, and we're just going to drag it back to the carrier as well, because there's nothing for us to concern ourselves with. We don't need to be watching to see where anything actually is, and then these will have to get repaired when they come back. Okay, so now if we just go back and watch, we'll start to sort of see things now coming back in. There's the drone. So the drone is now flying back towards the carrier. It will circle around and then do a landing. And there goes the other bot moving in to actually then go and take the island. And here comes the other ones coming back. So all 3 of those. Now that one here will just come in for a landing. Yeah, what have we got left? Oh, we've still got. What have we got? We've got them armed. We've got a number of missiles which we can use, but I don't want to use them just yet. It looks like I've got 43 in storage there. I'm just going to turn them off for now. So we'll just go and turn off the main gun. So it's now offline. I'll keep these on just because that will be handy. The drone will move around and then come back in if we have a look at the what's going on through here. It should land from the front. It's a different island. Will it land from the back? It may land from the back. Here it comes. So the drone is now coming in to do its landing, its final approach. And so these just do their own thing once you sort of give them these sorts of instructions. And again, we want to be in nice gentle sea to be able to do these landings and also the takeoffs. So it lands on the carrier. So we'll then go back down and refuel. you can see there it's now flashing with their deployment, so it's now coming back in. These have now just passed each other. So our injured forces are now moving back again. So we've got one that, God, this is so close to being destroyed. 16 hit points out of 400. That has to be repaired. And then we have the other one is now moving off as well. So if we just go back up into here, so they're going to be moving into the carrier. We might have a look at that as well. Like, we're still a little way off before this one can actually go and do what it has to do. So we'll just move on up, and we'll watch these come in. So if I just move back down the doors, that will then sort of take us through into the oops. Just going to close the door for a second. Open it from this way. And if we go down, God, I'm a bit lost as to where I actually am. No, that's the back of the ship. It's this one here. Just move down through here to the bottom deck. Off here. Where's the light switch? Should be a light switch in here somewhere. It's the corridor light. There it is. Turn that one on or off. That's that one down there. Not sure where the one is for here anyway. We won't need it. We'll just go straight down into this other side. So with the once we get down into this area through here, we've then got the corridor lights. Actually, turns that one on. The vehicle bay lights. Just make sure that they're on. And so these lights are on. And what we'll find is that this is actually where the vehicles actually are. They're now coming in. Not there yet. I'll just watch them as they come through. We can't do anything ourselves down in here. It's just purely for watching what's going on. Just try to stay out of their way. And we could look at it from the panel above. This is ocean sort of coming through as we're sort of as things are sort of moving around. Here they come. So they're moving into they'll move into the bay. So they've been given the order to come back onto the carrier. Hi Tenru, how are you going? Sorry guys, I haven't really been looking at the chat all that much. So where did we get up to? I remember the original carrier command from like 30 years ago. Does this one come with a tutorial at all? Yes, it sort of does to a degree. I think it's one of these things. The idea is to play it cooperatively. So that's the one that's only got like 14 hit points. It will now move into its bay and it will then start to be repaired. Here comes the other two. So they'll move in as well. So Crafty Dog saying, left us refresh the stream in case it was the problem. I can't see where you've got any other questions. I think I've answered all the questions that you had, all the comments. Sorry, if there's something else, just do an @DasTactic and write it again. Okay, Blue Green Blue is saying, do you have thermals or night vision? Actually, I can't remember. I think you can get them, as in the night vision goggles for things. You can certainly do it with something, but I forget which. Like the main vehicles tend to do it. So they're now going back into their bays, and then they'll be repaired. Let's just go back up the top. Just move out of its way. Yeah, so we're going to say this looks look cool, but the multiplayer tag turned me away. I figured out it's only a player versus player sort of. No, it's actually more of a co-op game than anything. we're different. You can have different people in different parts of the ship, but we're just playing single player. So just to sort of show that you don't have to play it that way. You can just play it as a single player game. So if you look at the start of what we did, actually, yeah, this is the way up, I think. Yeah, you'll see that there's actually a like I set it up as a multiplayer game. You can play single player as well. There is actually a campaign mode, which I guess is like the tutorial, but I just play custom whenever I play it. Just go back up into here. So we're sort of now getting onto the carrier decks. And one more. We should be into the bridge now. So that's now got all of those there. Let's go and check and see how this one is doing. This one is now just coming into the final stage. So we'll just go and click on this one, go to the camera. So it's now moving up towards where it has to go. Now I can go, like if I go to number 1, I can go to vehicle control and manipulate it. I can actually just use the WASD keys and steer it if I wanted to, just if I go to R, manual. So just now manually controlling the vehicle. So we're just going to move in and then line this area up. This is actually what we have to then use the virus bots for, to go and open these up. Now that it's all sort of nice and safe. So bring these across. And at that point we're very, very close. So now just press number 2 with the virus bots. They're armed. All we need to do here is just go and basically just fire them, which is, what do we do there? We need to go manual and then fire. So they've now been fired. We'll just stay where we are, just go back to number 1 again, vehicle control, and just move back a little bit. And we should then see the virus bots. There they are. They're going to take over this location. So they move in very, very slowly. If we just press escape, and escape again, we can then sort of see that the virus bots are now moving in. Actually, we're now moving back a little bit. They should be moving in. Am I not close enough? Oh no, they are. We're slowly taking this one in through this other side. You can see there that that's now sort of going in. I don't think I have to pick these up. I think that they just, I think we just get them replenished when we come back to the thing. I'll just keep them there for a second. But this is slowly now being captured, this particular island, and we can sort of see it through here as well. That's the status of what we're going to then get. And so we're going to get some other vehicles from here. So we'll sort of now have a look at that one as well. When we go to the level 2 islands, they're going to be a little bit more tricky for us to then go and sort of contend with. We're going to have to get rid of a few different sorts of things. So we need to find out what we're up against when we go to the other island. We can see the other island off in the distance, and that one does have, like, that's I think that that's a ship there, and I think that that's like an airfield there. So this is now almost ours. Great, island captured. So we've now got this one through here with what we have. So we've got surface chassis. We picked up a couple of good ones in through there. The mule chassis and the bear chassis. So these actually are now blueprints that we actually have that we can then go and start to go and build. Let's just go and get rid of that one there for a second. Now what we'll do is we can go back into the island that we actually have, surface chassis, and we can start to now go and grab these. I'm going to go and get myself one of these, which will then cost me a little bit, so I'll just queue one of them up. Yep, so times 1, and we'll do the same with this is a heavy platform, and we'll do the same with the mule chassis as well. So it's cool for us to get these. Now we're down to less money than we have available, but so we're just going to get those 2 chassis. They're going to be built on this island, and then we have to then go and get them across to our carrier once they're actually constructed. So when we start to have a look at stock, the stock will then be will then sort of show up in through this other side with what we actually then end up having. Like if we go back to the down to the chassis, yeah, we don't have any in stock at this point in time. There should be, we've got 2 steels, we've got 2 of these in storage, 2 seal chassis, which we could bring out. I might do that now so we can sort of see it. And we've got 2 walrus chassis as well. I've got to be a little bit careful because I've only got like 8, I can only put 8 in the actual vehicle itself. I'll bring in 1 more seal chassis, 1 more walrus chassis. So we'll do that now from the, yeah, I can do it from either here or from the other one over through here. This is inventory as well. This is all the same sort of thing, where I can actually then go and start to bring in the orders of what we actually want. So we've got 20mm ammo. We've got 10k pretty much in stock. The ammo there is actually fine. We only have the 160mm shell is the shell that we are using. We've got 40 of those in stock at this point in time. That's the one that we've been firing at at everything. We've got 40mm. We've got nothing. The ammo there, 30mm. We've been using a bit of that, I think. So we've got a little bit of that there. We've got still another 4,000 coming back through. I might move all of that in. So I'll just go and bring in, say, I might bring in 1,000. So I'll just bring in 1,000 of the of that particular one. So we'll order that. That should be all we need to do. So that's 30mm. Yep, so that's now in order. The bombs we won't worry about. Missiles, we do actually have some laser missiles, anti-air missiles. We've got some of these in stock as well. These are actually on our original island. Cruise missiles, we've actually got 10 of those. I'm just going to bring another 4 of those in. So this is actually going to be putting onto the actual, into where what we've got. We've got 24 torpedoes. We will need those, but I'll leave them where they are. The turrets, 30mm. Now we've got a couple more 30mm turrets. We've got 2 left in the carrier stock. What I might do here is grab another couple. Why is that not going in? There we go. So we'll order 2 of those. We don't have any auto cannons. None of these are actually in stock. So we have to go and get these from other islands. The gimbal cameras, got 2 of those in stock. I'll grab another couple of those as well. Observation camera, got 1 left back there. Actuated camera, I'll grab another 1 of those. So we'll start to sort of bring in some of these things. The fuel tanks for the aircraft, I'll bring in all of those. Radar, nothing there. So we've got 20 virus modules. We've got 4 in stock at this point in time. I think we're actually okay. The seal chassis, walrus chassis. So we've got, I'll just bring in 1 of these each, and then we'll bring the bear and the mule in as well. Probably should have brought the walrus in initially. So the bear chassis will come once we've actually got that one built. So it's going to be under construction. Air chassis we don't have. We've got a couple of more albatrosses, and we've got a couple of razor bills. So the albatrosses are the drones. I'm going to go and bring in maybe another 2 of those at this point in time, because they are useful. And we do actually still have 100 fuel as well. So I'll just bring in all of the fuel that's left. So we will have to sort of make use of the fuel. Right, so we've now got to go back. The other ones are now in here. If we have a bit of a look and see what's going on with them, this is their hit points. So this one here is still actually trying to heal itself up. So it will slowly sort of get healing. At least we didn't lose it. That was super close. Back across into what we have on the island. That's what we end up having. So this guy here is now needing to come back. One thing I don't know is, did it actually end up getting its what it had back again? So So we need to get it back to the what's it called? The epsilon. And if we have a look and just go in and actually go back to the camera on this particular one. So it's just going to move back itself. Yeah, so the virus bots are off, but it will be able to replenish those virus bots itself. So that's actually okay. We'll just have to now wait for it to move itself back off the island. So we're now in a bit of a waiting period. What we could do is send off the plane again if we needed to go in and look at the next island. Now we're not seeing what we that's interesting. We actually have a we don't know what that is. That should be that's saying a seal, but it's not. It's some sort of ship. Don't know what that is. But that's actually that's it over there. I think. Oh, maybe not. It's outside of our range anyway. Right, we're going to need ammunition, so let's go and see if we can find 160mm ammunition, which is what we require in here for the main gun. Unfortunately, it doesn't tell you. I don't think it tells you what the actual what the gun is, but we're going to look for ammunition that looks like this. I think that's sort of what we have to do. And if we go back into the maps, yes, the barge will should then fill up and then come back for us once it's actually full. It's got the map. This one here, we're actually getting the surface chassis being built. So they're sort of being constructed at the moment. If we have a look at this one here, this one gives us an extra barge if we take that island there. This one here gives us 160mm, which is, I'm pretty sure that's what we need for our main gun actually. So it's not showing up through there, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. We can get, so that one's actually not a bad one for us to aim for, evergreen, and then we've got the fuel island back over this other side as well. Then this one over through here gives us torpedoes, I think. Oh, different ammo again. There are some torpedoes, anti-air. So there's a bit of different types of munitions. This is more small ammunition. I'm pretty sure it's the 160 that we require for the main gun, I think. So I think we'll just keep on going up once we actually get these chassis. So this surface chassis here is almost done. There we go, we've got the mule and the bear chassis on this particular island. If we go back to the stock again, stock is pending the order. Barges, if we go to actions, or actually show on the map, so we need to go and pick up inventory, empty. That should be load it in from here. Oh, there we go. So we're now going to load that one up. So it's now going to be loaded from that location. And then once that's been done, we want it to then go and, in fact, is that now done? If we look at the actual, what's happening through here. So that looks like it's actually now picked up everything from our main island. And if we go back into the inventory, it says empty. Stock. These are all pending orders. Hang on, I'll do that again. I always forget how to do this. Henry's saying, will you be playing Kingdom, Dungeon and Hero sometime in the near future? I don't think so. They added Warlords mode last September, which is a random generated map mode. I don't know if I will, just because I've got too many other games to play. So, Yeah, nearly lost the seal, says Andrew Holt. Yes, it was very, very, very close. Now, that's the barge should have picked that one up. Show on map. There's blueprints there. Not sure what I'm doing here. Doing something wrong. It's definitely empty. Have to give it an order to do something else. Select waypoints. And that should be picking that up. And then moving off. And pick up that one. And then drop it off there. That should be everything that it has to go and do. But I don't think it is. It's completely empty. Yeah, I've done something wrong here. I have done something wrong. I haven't done this for a while. With the pending order, when transit. Should be moving across into transit. Let's just see if we can pick up the other location. If we just go back to the barges again and just see what we can actually do here. Travelling to Naedes, back into this other side. It's building again. Actually, I didn't want to do that. So we've got the chassis, we've got the stock there. Yeah, so we've got these bare chassis. We definitely want to bring them across. And that one as well. So it should be loading this in, the barges. It's got nothing on just yet. We slowly pick up money over time, so we don't have to sort of rush it with anything. So that's where it's going. It's still building the other chassis. This heavy platform is useful. Okay, well, we'll just wait and see what we end up getting here. Let's watch the barge. The barge should be coming. We should be able to see it. Might be it there. I think that's our home area. In fact, if we have a look at it through the main guns, here comes the virus bots coming back again, and that'll be the barge way out there. Yep, so it's the barge heading towards us. 7 kilometres away. Of course, if we lose the barge as well, that would be disastrous. Just make doubly sure that it's not... Yeah, so the barge is now moving up towards this island. It will then sort of pick up the... it should pick up the what's actually here. So we'll just watch and see if we can actually figure out what's going on with this. We should see it appear in here if we just go to the barges. So I'll leave stock there, and I'll put... actually, I'll leave the stock in this instance where we've got the... okay, the bear chassis has now been loaded. And we should end up with a mule chassis that gets loaded as well. There it goes. So that's good. It's now going to come across back to where we are. Let's go back to the barges. Travelling to the carrier this time. Still building this other chassis. So we'll at least get a couple of, and then we'll send them back to Acheron to go and pick up more stuff. I'm just going to set up a cycle. I might, I'll let it unload, and then we'll just go from there. So the barge infantry has just got these two chassis on board. These will then come into our location, so we can now build. These are better than what we had before, like the bear in particular, like the heavy chassis. Not sure what we can actually put on that one, but it's that could be really, really useful. The fact that we can now replace those as well is great. So we can actually sort of use those. Aussie Coffee Bean saying, "Hey Daz, was giving this one a good look over on Steam. Brings back memories from an 8." Yeah, it really does. It feels very, very good from the original and Gaia mission. Yeah, but that's a lot. Like that's 40 odd years ago, 30 or 40 years ago. Have a look at the barges. So they're unloading at the moment. So this is the bear is being unloaded onto our location, and if we have a look and see, we'll see the barge is just right outside outside here. There it is. So it's now just unloading those chassis. If the door's open. So traveling back to Archon again. So it's now done what it needed to do. We'll find that we've now got these chassis are now in here, so I can actually now go and place these back into my surface areas. And so I'm going to go into S5, and we'll make that the bear. So we'll select the bear chassis. So that one there, and then we've got the S6. I'll make that into the mule chassis. So that's all we have in storage. So with these, we can now set these up as well. And we maybe have a look at them down at what we're actually doing. So you can see down through here, they're slowly refueling. We don't actually have any equipment on them. We've got a couple of different equipments. Maybe we'll go back and have another look at what the other ones have got, just as an example. S1 has now come back in again. So that's just got this has got things where I can put cameras on it if I wanted to. We're not using cameras on here. We're just literally just using that. Back to S2. Again, we're just using the 30mm cannons. S3 and S4, again, will just be exactly the same with nothing. I can go and place cameras and other stuff in there if I wanted to, but I don't really need to at this point in time. The bear, because I can get more of these if I have to, I can sort of do different things. This one here, we can actually put in like, which we don't have any of these cannons, any of these guns. We can put in like a 100mm heavy cannon. We can also put in a 100mm battle cannon if we have any of these. We might see if we've got any of those back in storage, but at this stage we don't actually have any. So there's nothing much we can place in those. We do actually have cameras, flares, so nothing of real value in through here, unfortunately. So so we need looking for 100mm, 100mm, or 120mm. Let's go and see if we've got those in stock. So that will be under Under the turrets, 100mm battle cannons, we've got 0 of those. So unfortunately, we don't actually have any. We'll have to try to find those 120mm. Yeah, and this is the heavy cannons. We've got 0 of those. So we need to find where we can actually go and get those turrets from. So again, if we have a look at and see what we can actually look at in here, yeah, potentially there. So look and see if what Chernov actually will give us. Go back to the map. This is turrets, and we don't have any of those, unfortunately, so that's not going to give us anything. So we need to find another turret location. There's another one there. That one does give us the 100s and the 120s as well, and the 40s. So that would actually be fairly useful if we can get hold of that one. That's a fair way away. What about up this way? We've got more aircraft as well. So that one would actually be useful. More surface chassis there. That one does have 100mm there as well, so we've got a couple up that way that would actually then fit the bill up eventually with what we sort of need. So the bears are really not going to be of all that great use to us, to be honest, at this point in time. Maybe just as to have something that can soak up a bit of damage. Let's go and have a look at the what we can do with the mule. So the mule has got like other different things it can bring in. It can bring in different ammo. Let's see what else we can go and do. We've got fuel it can bring in. IR missiles is actually fairly useful, and then it's got deployable droids if we had any. We do actually have infrared missiles, so we could actually load this thing in with the IR missiles if we needed to. So we could actually pop them on there, but it's mainly going to be just ammunition carrier, so we don't really want too many of those. This will all be just the same sort of thing in through here as well. So I'll leave that one off, but that could come through again. Maybe even with the ammunition, because we did run out of ammunition with these other guys. So let's go and check on that barge again. How's the barge going? Barge is coming in. It is... barge is... Okay, it's now bringing those other things across. Don't know why it didn't load it in before, but now it is loading it in. So we'll just go... We can have a look down and sort of see like the size difference, I guess, of those vehicles. Let's just go to the bottom deck. Might as well have a bit of a look and see what we actually end up having. You played it on the Commodore Amiga, says Aussie Coffee Bean. So yeah, so Andrew Holt saying nice stream so far. We'll certainly check out this game. Lots to do in micro. Yes, you sort of, well, if you're playing with a group of people, it's actually even harder, to be honest, I find, because you're relying on other people to be able to know when to move their vehicles back. I was actually extremely lucky. So we now actually have, these are the new vehicles that we end up having. So we'll have a look down at these. So we're sort of lucky to get these. Like until we can sort of get like the heavy cannons and things for this stuff. And even if we got the heavy cannons, we then still need to get ammunition for it. So this is the bear. So it's got like, it's a tracked vehicle, back in through this other side. Then and it's got then the different things it can then sort of put on the top there. So that's the bear, and then we've got the mule back over this other side. And so this one will be for you know, we can bring ammunition with this one. I might as well go and do that actually. Just go and bring ammo across to it. I like playing without the enemy carrier because it does allow you to then tackle the islands at your own speed and try different things. And it is one of these games where you do want to test things out. Let's go and start up against a level 2 island and just see how we go. We are going to need to get, I think we're going to need to get 100mm ammo if we end up taking the other bits and pieces. At the moment the bear chassis are useless. Just go back up to deck 7. Yeah, the night vision, I was looking down the bottom there to see if there was anything we could sort of see when we had those vehicles out, but I couldn't actually see it. I do want to get another one of the, at least another one of the seal chassis out as well. Yes, this is loading, still loading fuel and so on and so forth. So it's loading more and more stuff into the actual barge itself with what goes on. So if you're playing like cooperatively multiplayer, you'll have somebody in the captain's seat giving orders while somebody is sort of going and doing logistics and getting all this stuff sorted, trying to figure out what we need through here, trying to sort of also figure out what we can go and get, like on the islands. You know, this person can then go to the map and say, okay, look, we do actually have an ammunition bay in through here, which does have 100mm ammunition. So that one there, couple that one across with the with what we can get here, is you know, that gives us the bear. The bear can then sort of become a useful weapon. But what's that? Is that a 3? If that's a 3, it may be too much for us. Certainly to do this one here. So if we have a look across, no, it's only a 2. So we've got a couple of more 2s coming up. Now we've got treasure, which is actually a different type of, this is higher ammunition. But let's go to evergreen and now sort of start to, we'll wait maybe for the barge to come, and then we'll go after evergreen and we'll look at what a level 2 island brings, because that brings a whole lot of other things that we have to be a bit more careful of. What we can do is actually, while we're waiting for the barge to come back up, we'll just have a quick look and see where the barge is. So we'll leave the barge here, just so we can sort of see where the barge is still loading. So it's still currently loading there. We'll just leave that map there, and we'll move across to this one here. Well, let's go and send in now A1. What did A1 have? So A1's got the fuel tanks. I want to just do a quick look across. So I'm going to use A2 in this instance. What I could do is actually drop everything just in case we lose the chassis. It's a bit of a risk, because these, we're not going to be using these. So I'm just going to go with none. So we'll get rid of all of our weaponry. I don't think we're going to need it. We do actually have these missiles. I might just put in some of these missiles just in case. And so we'll just let them load in, and then we'll send A2 off. We also have helicopters. These have just got, at the moment, these have just got cannons. We can put other flares and so on and so forth in here if we wanted to, smoke launchers. But we won't worry about those with the Razor Bill. These are just also just using the cannons that we've got available to us. But we have to have physically on the carrier anything we put onto anything at all. Now this is, we can see the status of it placing everything on. That's now been put in with this Albatross has now got the IR missile. So I'm going to use that just in case I need to try to shoot down enemy aircraft. But let's actually now go and go to this next island, which is Evergreen. So with that one through there, we're just going to go across and launch A2. It will now go through, and if we go down the bottom there, it will sort of see it take off, but we'll just wait for it to come through. That's a surface hangar, goes up to the Albatross. The Albatross will now be moving across, moving out from its bay. Surface hangar again. When we see this over through here, it's then going to be, that one there is going to be the where it's then moving off from. Now what we want to do here is we want to fly very, very high. We want to see what's actually coming up. Yeah, so Blackburn the First is saying this game looks like fun with a group of people playing in Discord. Yes, it really is. It's so much fun. We've actually did a recording like the with the meta abuse guys, or like we had a bit of a run. There's 4 of us that played it, and God, it was good fun. It can be very frustrating because here we go. The craft is now moving up. We'll sort of see it appear over here. Yeah, because you've got to work as a team, and that can be quite hard. You know, like there's all sorts of different things that can then go wrong. Now that there as well, we don't know what this. There's some vessel on the other side. We might see what that actually is. That's something red out in the ocean. It may actually just be a seal. It certainly was saying that it was. Here comes the. It should be coming up. There it is. We can just see it at the back there. So we'll go and have a look and see what this actually is. So we'll actually, when we launch, I'll move across to this. It does show it as a seal. I think it's actually a seal that was left over from here for some reason. There it goes. I'm just going to move this one up. I'm going to tell it at that waypoint to go high. I'm going to tell it to go really high, 2000. And then we'll move it across this way and just have a bit of a look to see what we can spot. Actually, I'll move it even up this way. And we'll move towards Evergreen. And we'll just move it sort of out way away. Like this is 16 kilometers. We'll just see what we can spot at 16 kilometers. Like this is miles away from the actual, from where this is. And then we'll tighten up the loop. That's now going to do a loop. Just go back into the camera. And we'll go to number 2, which is the gimbal camera. Press stabilizer, so and manual, so it's now stabilized. R is manual, and we'll just go and have a bit of a look to see what are we seeing here. What is that? Where's our island? Where's the carrier? Oh, it's a needlefish. Yes, we are tracking this one. So we're now in tracking mode. So we want to steer well clear of this. This is actually a ship that is it is a very dangerous ship. It's got missiles and torpedoes. So it's actually just moving around in the ocean. We've got to avoid that. So we will now just go back out to the island that we were going to be having a bit of a look at. This is it through here. So we're starting to now see that we've got. There's an aircraft hangar, so we'll just see what we can paint in here for now. So there's an albatross there. What else have we got? Not seeing it too clearly anymore. We're also looking for, there's a runway there, so that's actually, so there's a helicopter in there. Here comes more vessels. Now if we trigger that, we've got to look for more of the more needlefish, which are going to be more damaging. There's another ship out there. This one here looks like we've just got a few aircraft that we're going to have to destroy. Maybe too high up. That's what we have to then go and claim. I don't want to trigger these, so I don't want to get too close, but I just want to see what's here. Just get a bit of a feel for it. Might just press escape and we'll move in a little bit closer. Where's that? Yeah, that ship is still a little way back. And we'll have a look from this particular vehicle. I just wanted to have one little look around the at what we're looking at through here. So let's go back to camera again. So got the gimbal camera. Just press R again. And we'll start to now get a bit closer. Not close enough to paint these. You can see there that's a bigger vehicle at the back than what this is. So there's something more powerful. That'll be a walrus at the back there. We should be seeing more. There's some. There's this one. Yeah, we just keep on losing track of them. We will get closer. There's more over this way. It's a needlefish. Yep, so that's actually still fair way away. I'm going to drop my altitude. So in this one here, I'm going to drop this one down to 1100, which should still be enough, I think. And then we'll just go back and repaint these again. Again, I want to stay right away from this needlefish. Barge is back, so it will have to offload. A couple of things painted here. What have we got? Just zoom one out. So we can finish painting this one. Seal. Nothing else there. Start to see what we can spot in here now. Now we know that that's an albatross. Yeah, that's already an albatross there. And sort of then try to get its what its loadout is. Observation, chain gun, missile. Okay, yeah, so that's all it's got. This here is a helicopter. Petrol. I know that's a bigger helicopter than what we've got. It's got light bombs, observation camera, and chain gun. So, not going to worry this one. Then we've got these as well. Seal. Probably a walrus. Yep. Got a walrus at the back there. Let's see what else we can spot. Got all of these down in here now as well. And the walruses are going to be a lot harder for us to deal with than anything else. Got a seal there. This one over through here. Seal. There's a light there. There's another seal. More lights, is there? There's groups them together. Let's have a look inside the hangar again. There's another albatross. Is it an albatross? Yep, it is. Oh, and there's a manta at the back. We'll watch and see what it's got. Chain gun. And bombs. Okay, so we need to wipe these out. The fact that they're moving in like that is actually not a bad thing. We'll just go a bit closer in this side. I'm not going to be able to stay out with all of this stuff because this is not the one with all the fuel, but we're safe enough, I think, to we haven't triggered anything. Seal there. There's only the one walrus, and there's another walrus there. I shouldn't have said anything. Yeah, we've got heaps more to deal with through this other side. Seal. And walrus. Actually, what have the walrus has got? We've just got the same chain gun, I think. Gun 30mm, yeah. Okay, so the walrus has just got more hit points. That's really the deal with them. There's another one down there. We need to end up painting all of these. There's two of them here. Seal and seal. So these have got about a range of about 1 kilometre. Another walrus down that way. There's another one. Now we're a long way away from our like the vessel. I'm going to move back home. So I'm just going to go back and land, and then we'll actually start to get ready to actually tackle this one itself. We're going to have to avoid the needlefish. Just make sure there's nothing else in this hangar. Definitely need to blow those up. I think we've pretty much now got everything covered. There's more out here. Oh no, they've already been done. So I've already got them. They've already been painted. I think that's it for the island. Can't see any other lights anywhere. So that seems to be okay. Let's just go and press escape, and we'll bring this one back now, back home. Again, we want to avoid the needlefish, which is sort of moving up towards the island. So we'll move it out there and then move it back home again. Now the barge, just go and double check that the barge is actually doing what it has to do. This one here, the needlefish, I'm really bad at being able to control these, but I'm going to try to send out a torpedo. So let's go and see if we can do that. Let's go into the into here. Go to A3. I can change these across to torpedoes. So that's a torpedo there. This is a noise torpedo. We've got 8 of those. We've got 12 of those. I don't know if this homes. I know this one does. It's a countermeasures torpedo, external fuel tank. Well, let's try the normal torpedo in both of these and just sort of see how we go. I think it will home in on it. So we'll let that one sort of be built, and we'll sort of see that it will then, this yellow line will then fill up once that's actually done. In the meantime, we'll wait for the other one to come back, because you can only have one vehicle on the deck at a time. So where are we? It'll be sort of flying in from the other side. I'm going to move the barge away. Oh no, it's still unloading the barge. So still moving fuel now. So fuel is being moved across. So there's still a bit of work to do. So we'll just have to stay where we are for a little while. So we'll send once we get the other plane in, just wait for it to land in. We'll send out and try to torpedo. Here comes the plane. So it's moving in, the Albatross. Yeah, okay, there we go. Aussie Coffee Bean saying, thanks for your stream. You convinced me to buy Carrier Command 2. It's a great game. And you can play it. So Blackburn, the first, is saying the game looks like fun with a group of people talking. Yeah, so we did that one before. Yes, it really is good fun. It's a lot of fun. And it's fun when you screw up. We almost screwed up when we lost one of our units. You can see there that if you start to lose units, it's very, very dangerous. That needlefish, we'll just try to get it with torpedoes if we can. Wait for this one to come in, and then we'll bring the helicopter up. If I bring the helicopter up, this one will then just go into a circling pattern. But we've still got heaps of fuel, so even if I did that, it would still be okay. Let's go and focus on the needlefish. This thing is actually coming in towards us. This is dangerous. So that one's coming in. The needlefish is back over here somewhere. Yeah, there it is. So it's moving around the island. I don't know if it's somehow spotted us. It's not far away. It's now just landed. Wait for it to go down. Just now moving in. I'm going to start to just get things ready. Got torpedoes. We need to be facing in the right direction, but I'll just wait and see if we do need to get that one through. We've got launch torpedoes. Yeah, got those in through there. Countermeasures, that's not going to help us. So we'll have to then be dragged down. And then once that's in, once we get like a green light here, we can then go and deploy. Actually, which one were we going to deploy? It was A3. That's the one with the torpedoes. So we'll move that one across, and again you can sort of learn to fly them, but I'm really bad at it, so I tend not to, but I'm going to have to here a little bit, I think. It's now moving off in a different direction. It's pretty close for what we have. Let's wait for this one to be put away. There it is. That's now ready to go. So it was A3, wasn't it? Was it A3? I've forgotten which one we're dealing with. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was A3. I'm sure it was A3. Yep, that's A3's got the torpedoes. Move across. A3. So A3 will now start to. So you can see there the razor bill is now starting to launch. It will now start to move out again onto the elevator, and then we'll sort of see it appear from here once that's all done. Now that's moving off. Just going to quickly go back in and tell that barge to. It's moving back to Acheron. Let's go and tell it to keep moving out here. We'll just go into the barge waypoints. Just get it to move down to Acheron. Just leave it there. So it will just move off away. We don't want it near that razor bill. Sorry, near that needlefish. Here comes the helicopter. And I'll try to do this one manually, I think, once it takes off. Has it already taken off? I think it has. These take off pretty quick. Move away from here. It's going to be fairly low. It's 400 meters. I'm going to fly in towards it, a few kilometers away from it, and then we'll launch the torpedoes and see how we go. Two torpedoes. So once we actually sort of come back around, if I just press tab, I can then sort of see the map. So we're moving away from the carrier. Once we line up, we'll just come through and we'll then sort of launch the torpedoes. There we go, moving around now. I'm terrible at actually steering these, so I'm just using the AI to do what it's doing. It will now line up. And now we start to move in towards the where that needlefish is, which is right in front of us there. So we can see the needlefish off to the side. So look at the let's just press escape again. Not sure how much we need to. I know that there's a distance that we want to do with the torpedoes. I forget what it is. I'll just get it in a little bit closer. Just go with R, so we'll just get ready to fire it. Should be it right in front of us. Fire one. That's one torpedo. Fire the second. Oops, R and fire. Okay, that's now done. We'll send these guys back. Back to the carrier. Now that's actually, they've now sent out anti-torpedoes. You can actually watch this from sort of from here. See what's going on. Yes, they've got like we've got torpedoes coming in. They've got other missiles or something coming in as well. See how we go. Hopefully we get there. Okay, they missed. Not seeing theirs anymore. There's another one they've just launched. Avoided that one as well. I'm assuming that they're going after these and not going after the carrier. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Bang. And we should see somewhere an explosion. Don't know where it was. I should have checked to see which direction it actually was. But I think that needlefish is gone. I thought it was out here somewhere. So we did actually, we sunk it, which is awesome. So that's good. We just a couple of torpedoes, and then that one's done, from what we can sort of go and tell. So we've cleaned out the torpedo. Actually, it was off to this side here. I should have looked up. I should have checked to see what direction we were actually pointing. So we've got rid of a needlefish as well with just a couple of torpedoes. Awesome stuff. So we'll bring this one is now coming back in just to go back down below. So that was great. I don't think that the torpedoes that they launched, I think they were too far away from us. So I think we're okay. Okay, so next island. Just looking at the time. How am I going? I'm actually probably running out of time here. Now that's Evergreen is the one that we do want to get next, isn't it? And then we want to go up and get, we need to get this as well. And ultimately we need to get this. Actually, what do we end up getting at Arachnid? Is Arachnid worth getting? We don't know what we're going to get there with surface chassis. I think we can just build seals from there, I'm assuming. No, with the blueprints, I don't know if we've got the blueprints for. Just go and have a look at stock. Should we have the blueprints? We don't know. I don't know where the blueprints are stored. I'm sure it's in here somewhere. Just map. No, that won't be it. Unsure. I'm unsure as to where that actually is. So anyway, I think I'll actually leave it here, even though we're clearing out the different things. What we could do, maybe I'll just go and use a missile to clear out, because we didn't see any missile defense on the actual island itself. That needlefish was about the closest thing to missile defense that they actually had. So we're going to put up an actual drone now. The other drone that we actually had. Again, if we go back and have a look and see what the makeup is, A1 has got the fuel tanks. So I'm going to use it to scout the island again. So we've now got the needlefish out of the way. Let's just go back into this one in through here, press escape, and now that we've got the other one back in, we'll deploy A1, which can then sort of fly around a little bit. And actually won't, oh no, yeah, that'll still be okay. That'll still be okay. What we need to do is we now need to get relatively close to the actual, to that island. And if we have a bit of a look in through here, I'll just go, I'll move about 4 kilometers away, somewhere in here somewhere, I'm thinking. So I'll just go and set the waypoint. So I'm just going to go and go R at that point there. That's probably a bit too close. Just press it there. Be out of the what we're doing. We're going to be pushed away a little bit. There's another. It's only a level 1 there, so we don't have to really even worry about that one. It's in this one here. There's no needlefish left in through this other side. So you'll just go back to the helm. And we've got our direction that we need to be heading, so we'll just go and start pushing this one around. Oh, hang on, we need to go and turn on the engine. Just get that one right back and reset it. Again, I'm looking at this. I don't want to go over into the red too much because we don't have any fuel yet. Move this one across until we're lined up on that direction. Maintain the heading. Alright, let's move it back across to control the vehicle. Needs to be at 1. That makes it safe from the 30mm cannons. We'll just get a bit closer. That's 8 kilometers. We want it be a little bit tighter because we've got all of these things pretty much now painted. What we don't want to do is spook the aircraft. We want to be close enough to use missiles. That should be high enough for us to be able to spot what's going on. And then we'll use this to actually paint the target for getting missiles inside the hangars and blowing up the craft that are inside there. So bring our carrier through. This one's going to get there first. It's pretty cool the way this one sort of works. It ends up being sort of like in 3D space. So it's flying up. Actually, I'll move that one just across a little bit. So we're still spotting all of the different bits and pieces in here, but we definitely want to be using this to control what we sort of see in through here. The albatross is there. We didn't have a good look at this. I might just see if that is actually anything that will be a problem for us. Let's just go back and have another look. Again, I can do it from here with that mod, but I'll just do it where you would normally be doing this. Let's go to camera. And we're going to go back to number 2, which is the gimbal camera, and then press R. Now the buildings that we see through here, we're looking for guns or sort of like missile silos, and they don't look like that's them. They don't look like they're much at all there. So there's nothing dangerous there. Now with the we've got the carrier gun, which we can go and fire into this other side. But if I go across and cycle the weapon, I can go to Z. This is carrier flare, ground artillery, guided missile. The guided missile we can fire from the ship, and I'm going to be wanting to do that with one of them. Let's just press escape and just go back and make sure that the guided missile is ready to go. So that's the cruise missile. We'll get that one ready. We've got 6 of them armed and 12 in storage. So again, we want to be judicious because we don't actually have a lot of these until we sort of can get them from other islands. Let's go back in here and just start to paint what we can see. Camera. Guided missile. Again, we just go and make this one manual. There's our ship. There it is. We'll see if we can actually do it now. We can fire inside here, but I'm going to see if I can actually fire into the other side of it. If I fire into the middle there, that will get most things. see if we can actually do it with one of them. Just have to keep on painting the targets. Oh, unavailable. Sorry, the guided missile is probably too far away. Cancel. Just cancel that for now. Support cancelled. We'll guided missile will have to just get a bit closer. Not sure what the range is on the guided missiles. Oh, we're sort of in position. I'm going to set that one now to just come a little bit towards the island. So just pressing the D key. Just get out of this heavy wind. Just a little bit closer. This looks fairly gentle in through here. Okay, let's stop the engines. Oh, I was going full bore. That was a waste. Engine stop. That should be. It's only about 4 kilometers away from what we're looking at. Let's go and see if we can do that again now. And paint in the group. Oh, what have we got under there? No, that's okay. It's camera. Just sitting, going right over the top of them. Guided missile, ready. Cruising support. It says unavailable. Why unavailable? It says waiting. Maybe we'll just try for it. I'm not sure why it's unavailable, because we do actually definitely have it. Just see if I need to arm anything on the actual carrier itself. So they're all okay, that's okay. Got power to the weapons. Arm the main gun as well. So they're armed and ready. Should be okay. I'm not sure what's going on there. Well, we can maybe try with the actual carrier guns. Try one more time here. Just as it comes around. So this is unavailable. Alright, let's cycle the weapons again. Let's carry a missile. Actually, maybe that was it. That was, oh, guided missile. Yeah, this is the one. This is the one. Engage. Here we go. We just want to go and hit the middle of this if we can. Missile is coming in. Come on, you can do it. So we keep on painting it. Still 3 kilometers away. I'm going to miss it. I'm going to miss it. I'm going to just be hitting the top. Still a kilometre and a bit away, so maybe in here. Just keep on painting where we're going. Yeah, here we go, a kilometre away. Here it comes, here it comes. Bang. There we go. Great. So that's the missile impact, and we'll just make sure there's nothing left over inside there. Yeah, that's good. Everything's now smoking. Fantastic. So we can now just go back out, and that sort of clears out all of those threats. So it's all the air now done. Just going to go back to cycle weapons again. I'm just going to go back to the carrier gun. So if we do find collections of things like this, where it looks like they sort of stop, that's in the ocean. We don't want to be tackling anything in the ocean. There's not a hell of a lot we can do. These are all in the ocean. That one's on a small island. Not going to worry about that one. Anyway, that got rid of a major threat with what we were sort of trying to deal with. There's nothing else. We can't see any more of these. They're sort of all over the place. But that was good. This one's now going onto the beach. If you carry a gun, it would be handy to kill this. Seal. It's that walrus that's the problem. Let's go for it again. Let's just go and smack them in the middle here. Oh, it's out of range for the cannon. Alright, so we're going to have to go in a little bit closer. Our carrier is over there anyway, so this is on the side of the actual carrier. Let's just go back out. We've still got heaps of fuel, so we can still sort of spot what we need to spot from the air. So we're seeing the different movements coming in this other side. To get up onto where we need to go, where is it? It's in the middle there. So it is actually where all of these guys actually all are. We've got that little island there as well. So I'll move in. We want to be a few kilometres away, like about here I'm thinking. So just press R and remove that point. Just press R in here somewhere. Let's go to the helm. Zoom in a little bit. And start. Bring this across a little bit. Again, we don't want to get too close that their vehicles will come and try to sort of destroy us. Not that they really can. Just get a little bit closer so the carrier guns can operate. I think it's 4 kilometres for the carrier guns. That missile was good. When we got rid of a lot of vehicles there in just one shot. It's going to slowly come across. While that's doing that, I'm just going to go back across to the loadouts. Now we're going to go and get another seal. And I do have a walrus as well. So we'll see what we can build with all of these. This is now, everything is now going to be full once these are sort of done. Actually, with the vehicle loadouts, the seal is going to have another 30mm cannon making through there, so that will just take a bit of time for it to be set up. And the walrus can also have a 30mm cannon through here. What else can we do? We don't have any of those. We do actually have a CWIS turret, which is sort of anti-air. We have an IR missile launcher as well, which I don't want to be doing, so I'm just going to go in the 30mm in the middle there as well. The others we don't really need to worry about, but that will be like our lead now for when we go in, and that will be enough. That will be 5. We can still use the virus spot at the back there as well. Let's just go back into here. Still moving in a little bit. Just go and ramp up the speed. Again, we're just looking at the, we don't want to go into the red. The red also shows around here with the throttle. It should allow us to use the guns just to sort of go and clear out of a little bit of what they've got. I will keep on streaming actually. I was going to go, but I now want to see if I can do this island as well. We've gotten rid of so much of the protection. We might as well do this. Just getting a bit closer. All right, all stop. Engine stop there. All right. We've got the. I'm going to turn off the cruise missiles. I'll turn off torpedoes as well at this stage. Keep all the others where they are. We've still got the main gun armed. So we'll go now with the back to here, which is the most effective way of using these weapons. Camera. And got the carrier gun ready to go. So we're now just going to go in and press R. So again, I can fire it from the actual thing itself. Now that's the walrus there. I don't know if that's in the water or not. I don't think it is. The walrus out this way as well. There we go. The gun now to come in. There's only two of them here, unfortunately, but I need to try to take this walrus out. Oh, we missed it. Damn it. Okay, so we got rid of one of the others. The walrus up this way as well. With there's three of them in here. Let's go for this one. Just try to stay ahead of it a little bit. Again, we missed it. These are all coming together. Right, let's go for it again now. Last one, really. Come on, come on, come on. Got him, got him, got him. One walrus left, but I'll let that one. I'll let our forces actually deal with that one. So we unfortunately had to use another 3 shots with our with what we had. So if we go back and have another look, yeah, we've still got a few more shots left, but we use a fair few of these. I think it's 4 of these per shot that we do. So what have we got there? That's 12. Now that's 4 shots that we've actually used with this one through here. It is armed. I could rearm if I wanted to, but I think I'll just leave it where it is. We've still got 37 in storage of these. So we've still got a few of them. Let's go now and get everything. Just make sure that these have now all been set up. Another quick look. No, they're not. So this one is actually still being established. So this is the hit points coming up. So we need to now wait for this one to be replenished. So we'll see that very slowly this will then come up. 38. So there's a bit of time there. Yes, we do have to just wait. So Techrium is saying, I remember being so confused by Carrier Command 1 as a kid, also so captured by it, still got the floppy disk somewhere. Wow, okay. Yeah, so this is, so again, we've been able to sort of destroy a lot of the, like this is a tier 2 island, and if we just go and, we'll move this one back out a little bit so we can sort of see what's going on. So aircraft is doing fine, we don't have to really worry about what it's doing. We'll just leave it where it is, and we can, yeah, so I'm now just going to wait until we've actually, like this particular Albatross, the fuel is still 81%, which is heaps. So it's just in a loop at this point in time, Albatross number 9. Again, the surface vehicle, we've just got to wait for these guys to get their health up. So it does take a while to get the load ups actually happening with these. That's a bit of a trap actually. Always double check that you do actually have like everything. All of these need to be up and as high as they can be. So the one there I think is the equipment. I think it's fuel, and then this one here is hit points. So it just needs to be sort of established. And again, while we're waiting, we could just go down and have a look and see what they look like. Go into deck number 1. Oh, you know what I should do is actually put some of the 30mm cannon ammo on the mule and take the mule along as well. So we'll go and do that. Come back down into here. Must be night time. So we've now got the two new vehicles ready to go. So that's the Walrus that we see right there, with the same cannons as what the Seals have got. So this is now actually one of all of the different vehicles that we actually end up having. So if we go back through, we'll just go through and do a bit of a run through. So this is the other Seal that we had. This is water that's just coming through the bottom here, which won't really matter. So we've got the Seal 30mm cannon. We don't have anything that will fit on top of the Bear yet, so the Bear unit is ready to go. That's a heavy unit. Then back over this other side, we've got the next level up from the Seal is the Walrus, which is what this one is. So it's a little bit more meaty. It's only got the same 30mm cannon though. And then this is the Mule, where we can sort of put different things on this as well. So we're going to go and put 30mm ammo just so we can replenish the ammunition of the others. So it will come along and help them. And then the last one that we've got is just got the virus bots on board, which should be this one. Actually, it's not on there. Need to reload that one. So that one needs to get its virus bots back on. So we'll just go back up and set that one up. So it's yeah, awesome game, this one. A lot of fun. And the islands are sort of like, they've got their own, like you saw there. I'm glad that we actually got to sink the needlefish, because that's actually, they typically around 3, like they protect 3 shield islands. They're not usually around 1 or 2. But then if we got too close to that island, they would have actually sent their other craft up. Where are we? There it is. And so the aircraft would have come after us. So getting rid of those with a missile only takes 1 missile to do it, and just to hit the hangar and they're gone. You just want to you don't want to trigger them so that they end up taking off. I mean, there's just so many different ways of actually playing the game as well. Like, you don't have to just do it that way. You can actually fly in with razor bills and sort of cut things up with machine guns. I mean, that's actually something where you can sort of strafe your way through. You can do that with albatrosses as well if you're wanting to. Let's have a look and see how we're going over through here. Still a little way off with these two. So we'll just wait until they're completely ready to go. Fuel is 77% there, which is fine. Oh, that's the other thing we need to do, is just go back in with the with S1 and reload these. So again, it's just got to reload those in. Pretty sure everything else is fine. Yeah, that's all 100%, 100%, 100%. The mule, just go and bring in some 30mm. We've got 4,000 available. I don't know if I want to put all of that in there. I don't think I can change it. I'll bring this one in afterwards, or like if we can establish like a defensive position somewhere, I'll then bring this one in just to replenish anything that we do use up. So we'll sort of come in with a little bit. But again, you can sort of imagine different people. You've got 3 different stations here, so 3 different people can actually operate the vehicles. Plus, there's a mod that I've got that actually adds in another 3 workstation or 3 control stations downstairs as well for the various craft. So you can then sort of have everything just manually controlled, which is really good fun. So it's an amazingly good game, this one. Just wait now for everything else to come through. So the virus bots are in. These are almost done. 86%. We'll just wait for it. It's the health that actually does take the time to fix up. I might even take even though the bear can't do anything, it can still take a little bit of damage, I guess. It's only got like 10 health. This one's got 20 for the walrus, and then 40 for the bear. That's got 60 for the mule. 20,000 kilograms, 10,000 there, 15 there, 20,000 there as well. So yeah, there's a few there. Just wait for this one, 93% now. Just gonna grab myself a drink of water, be right back. Very close. Nearly there, nearly there. Actually, I must have switched to the next missile display maybe. Yeah, actually, sorry, I think you were talking about from when we did actually eventually find the right missile to fire. There we go, 100% through that side. Okay, let's go and launch these now. So we're going to go in with, not with S1, but pretty much everything else. I don't know about the bear. Maybe we won't send S5 in. S1 and S5 we won't send in at this stage. Maybe even the mule. So let's go into the surface one. So we're going to go S2, 3, 4, not 5, not 6, 7 and 8. So they're all now going to drop into the ocean at the back. So they'll sort of end up in the back there somewhere. By the way, you can actually walk off the carriers too. You can actually jump off into the ocean, which then kills you. So that's the end of your run as well. I think that's the end of your run. Oh, actually, maybe you'll be able to load back in again. So they're deploying at the moment. And then we're going to go in. We're going to use the we're going to use S8 as our actual vehicle. So that's now going back into where we actually are. We'll just keep. I'll take this one here. Just wait for this one to get into the water. Let's have a look and see what we've got. So this is S8. That's our walrus. We're going to have that as our lead. Then we're just going to move all the seals in, one after another. Just drag them onto each other. So that's 5. Yeah, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. So they're now all moving off. They've got a fair way to swim actually. And we want to probably get to seals, and there's a walrus there. There's a walrus there as well. I think we'll end up coming out this other side. Bring these across. Just bring them down onto that little island to start with. This is the one with the trees on it, and then we'll figure out the best way forward from that point. And We can also then just go and have a bit of a look to see what that looks like. So yeah, we've got a that gives us a lowish area there. So these are tracking around this particular location. That then gives us access points back up into here as well. There's cliffs in through there. There is another access point from the top if we wanted to go that way. So we do actually have walruses moving along here, which is a bit of a problem. And then just a couple in through this other side. We should be able to take them out. But this is an easier one because we actually only have seals all the way through the top. So we can certainly sort of look after that one. Then we've just got another group of seals that are operating down on that side of the island. That's the target for us, I think. No, that's the airfield. Target's over here. So we're going to have to go. Yeah, we should be able to get into that one. How? It's all cliffs. There. And around. Oh no, that's the target. That's the target there. No, so we will continue on with what we're doing. So they're now all moving their way in. What we can do is to try to, we could use, for example, one of the helicopters and just see if we can actually strafe, which I'm really bad at. But actually, I don't even want to do it because I'm so terrible at it. But you can, if you can just practice and see how you go, trying to get the helicopters, because the helicopters can be really effective to actually clean up the island. Even before you send your vehicles in, they can actually do a lot of damage. Just using the helicopters. Maybe I'll give it a quick go. Let's just see if we can actually do something. I'll try not to be too. I'll use the mod here. So we've got the. What we have, A3 has only got the torpedoes. A4 has got the chain guns. We'll go with that. So we'll just go with A4. So we'll go and launch A4. Again, I can press it from here if I wanted to, but I'll do it from over here. So A4, deploy. And then I'll just see if I can actually take out some of the walruses that are in the water, or that walrus in the water, before the vehicles get there. It's hard to fly. I find it hard. You've got to. It's like if you are getting used to the game, practice like taking off and landing on land somewhere, and just so you get used to actually how to control it. But I do forget what to actually do. So we'll try to maintain a bit of height as we sort of come back through. Here we go. And it just takes straight off. Got a camera. And so it's going up to about 400, which is sort of where we want to be. And I'm going to just try to get used to firing this thing. So if I go back to number 1, I've got vehicle control. Number 2, I'm going to make this one manual. So I'm just going to go R. So that's, oh, hang on, this is IR missiles. That's not what I want. That's not what I want. So I'm just going to go back in and land this one again on the carrier. So I need to put chain guns on it. I can play it with other things as well. We've got snow now coming in. Come back around and land again. Now we'll go and set it up. In fact, what we could do is go to the other one and just put in the A3. We could change the torpedoes out and go and grab the chain guns. 20mm autocannons. So we'll load these in and then we'll send A3 up. So A4 is now coming back in. So it's already landed. There it is, and it will just go onto this one over through here. I don't know if I can get down there in time to jump on with it. I'm not going to be able to. charge in. See if we can get onto that bay with it. Okay. So this is the lift. It will then go back to what it's doing. So the other one is now being set up, ready to go. It will now move back into its position. I'll just move out of the way here. There's the chain guns being loaded on. So it's got the chain guns on that one. Actually, that one's going back into that hangar back over there. All right, let's get out of here. I'll just go up the stairs. Can I go up there? For whatever reason, I can't do it. Call the lift instead. I'm not sure what happened there. I suddenly put on a lot of weight. Something like that. And back up to deck 7. Go and check that A3 has now got everything that it requires, which it does. So we'll now move A3 off. The elevator's going back down again. And so the one with the chain gun will now appear. Let's just see how we're going with these others. So they're still making their final approach into the actual island. And we'll see if we can just take out a few of these in the water, if we can do it. Should come up in a second. Here it goes. Just take straight off. And 400 meters will be okay, so we'll just move that one up to there, and we'll just go back to the actual craft itself, go to camera. And so in this case, I want to now make sure that these are set to, actually they are, looks like they are set to, if we go to R, in manual, they're auto. I'm not sure if we just line it up, if that will actually do the job. It may do it if we actually just try to line the different vehicles up. I'll see what happens if I just do it through auto, through just zooming in and just doing a pass over the top of these. I'll go this way to start with. And I can actually, looks like I can try to actually. Yeah, attack an enemy with a gun. Actually, I'll just do that straight away. Yeah, so it looks like I can just do this. Okay, so I'll take this out. Let's see what happens here. Let's go to camera. So I won't do this on auto. So just coming in, we're going to line it up automatically. There goes our vehicles. So no hands. Got it. Great. Okay, now we'll just go back again, press escape. Escape. Go and hit this one now. Just look at the camera from here. Hit points are still good. Another seal. Well, that's actually pretty good. We don't even have to do the manual stuff here. What I'll do is I'll just go back and set these up. We'll do another pass, and then we'll come up, do a pass up this way. Now that's the walrus back over there. So we'll just watch. Missed it. Hit points are still actually okay here. Oh no, it's not. No, it's not. Move away. Move right away. Taking damage. Okay, we need to move back again. So we've taken damage here. Let's get you back home. But it did a bit of work there. Ah, now we've got fuel problems here with the walrus. So we'll have to get fuel across as well. That's one we did kill. Let's go back to the... they'll sort of just do their own thing for a little while. Go back to S6. We'll load on fuel. Alright, then we may have to bring that one back to that location. Yeah, so what have we got here? We've got different things coming back in. The Razor Bill is coming back in. Its health is down to 30, so that was good. We took it away just in time. Let's go back into the group. They've taken damage as well. Down. It's a long way away, but it's out in the open. Down to nearly half our got through here in terms of hit points. Oh, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Okay, so yeah, we've just lost the first one. Let's get these out of the way in that case. So that walrus, we don't actually have any way of getting more walruses. That was a big mistake. Look, I'm going to have to. I'm not going to be able to do this one now as easily as I thought. So we'll move out of the way here. Actually, we did just get rid of another one of theirs. Yeah, I think we can actually take it easily. There's still a lot more to be done. We'll just move back off. So that was, we've still got, I think, one more walrus. I'll just move these buns back. But I think I will call it quits here, guys. We've certainly played for a fairly long time. Enough to sort of show that you can play it single player, which is really cool. If I press escape. It's funny, I played without the enemy carrier. But that's showing the carrier there. That's the enemy islands. But there shouldn't be a carrier there. Anyway, I'm not sure why they've suddenly got all these islands. I think the AI does cheat in this game a little bit with what does actually happen here, but yeah, I'm not sure where why they've been able to take those without without a carrier. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it there. So thanks for watching. But yeah, it's very, very, very fun game. So I thought I'd actually put this one together. As I say, we were going to be doing a multiplayer version of it this weekend, but it didn't sort of work out that way. So I thought I'd just do a live stream of it because it's a great, great game. I'll catch you tomorrow if you're around for DasTactic. Otherwise, I'll see you in another stream. Can you ram the enemy carrier? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. So, hi, Sketic, how are you going? Switch, yeah, so we did the message play. Sorry, I missed so many of the comments here today. I do apologise for that one. I'll catch you guys later.